And for Mike Scioscia also, the evaluation continues, Terry. There's still some answers that he needs. And today he'll have Cole Calhoun leading off in right, doing a great job. Most regulars are in there. Mike Trout in center. Albert Pujols de-aging tonight here for the Angels. David Freese at third base will bat cleanup. Eric Ibar at shortstop will follow Freese, and C.J. Cron will spare Albert at first base. Chris Iannetta is a catcher. Johnny Giovatella getting another start. Very interesting move here with Giovatella batting eighth, and Colin Cowgill is batting ninth for the Angels in left field. And of course, the Angels see a familiar face. They saw him last year, Terry. A guy that, as of right now, is just trying to get his feet wet and reestablish himself as a guy you can go to on the mound for the Indians.
Trevor Bauer, his name, born in North Hollywood, went to UCLA, College Player of the Year back in 2011. He will get the baseball tonight for the Cleveland Indians. Well, we were here at this ballpark for a day game about a week and a half ago. That's when the Angels played the Cincinnati Reds. They share this facility with the Cleveland Indians, but tonight it's the Angels and the Indians here in Goodyear. Terry Francona, the manager for the Cleveland Indians, 15th season overall as a big league manager, first with the Phillies, then the Red Sox, and he's done a good job here with the Tribe, Jose. Back-to-back winning seasons, won 92 games in 2013, not quite as many last year, but still finished over 500.
He keeps things loose, and that's another guy that players love playing for. Terry Francona is a guy that is not too enamored about giving out signs or too much strategy when it comes down to spring training, but he does run a pretty tight camp and likes to have fun.
Had a contract extension this offseason, so he'll be with the Tribe for a number of years to come. We're ready for baseball as Cole Calhoun will lead it off. He grew up not too far away from this stadium. And here's the first pitch tonight. It is taken on the outside corner, a called strike, and we're underway. Alan Porter is the home plate umpire. Very good ball and strike umpire. Mike DeMuro, Seth Buckminster, and John Byrne are the other umpires on the bases. There's a swing and a miss by Cole Calhoun, and Jose, he has been one hot hitter for the Angels last couple of ball games, really starting to heat up this spring.
He's right now a guy that is just finding his form. Timing. You hit 25, 30 at bats in spring training for a lot of guys. That's when things start clicking in because he made enough adjustments or set back some things that are helping you later on eventually.
There's one that he swings and misses, so he's polished off on 3 pitches, and Bauer with the strikeout to start off tonight's game.
Let's take a look at the Indians defensively. They made 116 errors. Not too good. Michael Brantley can play a solid left field. Bourne in center, the good speed. Murphy around the outfield. Santana, inverted catcher. Michael Martinez at second base, trying to make the ball club. Young, good shortstop from Francisco Lindor. And then Chisenhall at third base with Gomes behind the plate.
First one on Mike Trout, who has been sizzling this spring, hitting 500. He takes it for ball 1. Infield is playing it backed up. Outfield straight away. Next one on Trout, and that's outside.
For Bauer, in terms of stuff, it's there. And Terry Francona, just like other managers he's had, said just go out there and keep it simple for yourself. Your stuff plays in the big leagues. And enemy number 1 for him before last year when he kind of matured and kind of grew into a nice role is the amount of walks. It's gone better with that.
2 balls, 1 strike. Trout asks for time, steps out of the batter's box.
And of course, with Bauer, you always have fun watching. One time he gets out here to warm up, and it took about 45 minutes of things before he went to the bullpen. He does a lot of things around the outfield. Plyometrics, long toss, you name it.
Yeah, rumor had it he was interested in the Duke basketball game. Mentioned he went to UCLA, but he's a big Duke fan, so he might have been checking out the Blue Devils earlier today, leading into his start. 2-2 delivery. Trout swings and misses, and he is down on strikes. So back-to-back strikeouts for Bauer to start off the game.
A lot of body movement from Trevor Bauer. All that stuff coming at you, kicks a leg, and then all of a sudden that arm speed is exactly where he wants it to finish off. The outspeed, good split finger pitch there on Mike Trout down in the zone. Again, for hitters, after so many day games, it's not that easy to start catching up with that ball that sometimes looks a little blurry. And for the Indians, in fact, it is consecutive night games for them.
So here's Albert Pujols, and he takes one up and in for ball one, a little high and tight.
Yeah, that's one of those pitches that Albert probably didn't see very well. And then you have the second baseman playing right behind the pitcher's release point, which makes it a little bit tougher. There it is.
1-0. Albert takes, and that is in there for a called strike. Bauer this spring, he's starting his fourth game, so will Hector Santiago for the Angels. Bauer has worked 12 innings, allowing 14 hits, 4 earned runs. Here's the pitch. This is tapped softly left of the mound. Bauer fields, throws the first, and it's a bad throw. He gets away from Santana. Now Albert is going to head for second, and he'll get there without a throw at second base. Boy, that should have easily been the third out. You were talking about the Indians' defense a year ago, and boy, they gave away something there to Pujols.
There's 14 errors now for the Indians this spring. Pujols pretty much given up on an easy 1-3, and Bauer just sails it. A little cutter out there to first baseman Santana. Pujols, in fact, was not running all that fast, and before you know it, he took a nice turn all around. And we're talking about Pujols and the way he's moving around there with his feet, and it seems like he's running less on his heels so far here in the spring.
Would be a good sign. So the Angels get a gift base runner, a 2-base throwing error on the pitcher Bauer, and now Freese has a chance to get a 2-out RBI. We're in the first inning with no score here in Goodyear. First one on Freese. He looks it over. It misses for a ball. Freese this spring, 8 hits, including a homer, 26 at bats. He's driven in 6 runs.
And going back to that error, the Indians pitchers committed 14 errors last year. The Angels pitchers committed more, 18 errors.
There's a pitch taken, and that one is in there for a strike. Eric Ibar would be up next, just underway. We see in the distance there's been a little bit of lightning, so don't know which direction that's coming.
Straight center field.
Yeah.
North of us, it is absolutely coming down somewhere.
Here's one that's bounced on a couple of hops to second. Michael Martinez is playing there. He will easily get Freese, and the inning is over. So in the inning, no runs, no hits, an error. 1 runner left on base. Half inning completed here in Goodyear. There's no score on Fox Sports West. We move to the bottom of the first inning. No score here in Goodyear. You can see that lightning we were talking about in the background to straightaway center field. We're told it's quite a distance away, so we might be safe and sound for baseball. We'll see.
In fact, there was a rain out here in this ballpark yesterday when the Angels were playing just a few miles away in Glendale.
Right. That was a Reds game that was rained out here yesterday afternoon. So we start the bottom of the first. Hector Santiago delivers, and the leadoff man for the Indians is Michael Bourne, their center fielder, who takes ball 1. Santiago's next pitch, and a little bit low. Last time we saw Santiago, that was on Sunday against the White Sox, and he was hit below the left wrist on the ball that was hit back to the mound. Swing and a miss by Bourne.
It's a matter of taking away the bunt, and there you have Freeze on one side, you have Pools on the other side, you have both middle infielders too cutting the distance on this fast base runner.
Here's the next delivery. It's lined into right field, but coming over and making a routine catch on that one is Cole Calhoun. That's the first out in the bottom of the first with no score. Francisco Lindor will be the next batter, and we see the Indians lineup. Bourne, who just lined out. Lindor, a good-looking young shortstop prospect. Probably start the year in AAA Columbus. Michael Brantley had a big year, hit .327 for the Tribe last year. The catcher, the guy who was a catcher one time, Carlos Santana, playing a lot of first base now. Yan Gomes, Ryan Rayburn, David Murphy, Lonnie Chisenhall, and Michael Martinez rounds out the batting order. That pitch is taken for ball one by Lindor. He was in AA, AAA last year, had 28 stolen bases overall in the minors, and a solid defensive player as well. They really like him. He's regarded maybe their top prospect in their system right now.
He's out of Caguas in Puerto Rico, and a kid that really has a lot to say about his future. And Terry Francona says, I love the attitude he's brought to camp.
Takes that pitch high from Santiago.
And Terry Francona, his manager, has said clearly, we give young players opportunities, Terry, as we know, especially early in camp. Go out there and force us to play a little bit more. And he has. He said it's been fun to get to know this kid.
He's hit a couple of home runs for Cleveland this spring. Takes that pitch for a strike from Hector Santiago. We'll see if there's any side effects, Jose, as far as Santiago getting hit by that batted ball on Sunday.
Good thing is he was able to throw his bullpen session, and to see him on the mound today, it's a tremendous plus.
There's a good off-speed pitch. Fooled there was Lindor.
And things I'll be looking for in case there's any restrictions on him is he extending? Is he, as we call, yanking the baseball and cutting it, not finishing?
So the count's full. Here's the payoff, and that is a called third strike, and Lindor knew it. Struck him out.
Terry, he is not yanking it, he is finishing. That was a great job right there with a cut back from the right end. So for the Angels, Trout in center, the captain in the outfield, Calhoun is in right. Calgill rounds him up. Freeze, Ibar, Giovatello getting the start at second base. Crone at first, and Iannetta behind the plate. And Mike Trout himself and the rest of the outfielders is way different now in terms of tracking the baseball after so many days in the sunshine. It's one of those, make sure you know and get some help if you need it. Don't break until you know where the ball is going tonight.
Michael Brantley, left-handed batter at the plate, takes that one for a strike. He had a breakout year last year. He was an all-star. Missed only 6 games, hit .327. Son of former Major League player Mickey Brantley. And he's become one of the better corner outfielders in the AL. The pitch, he pops that one foul back behind the plate.
Trying for the Indians, another early investment on a young player. That really is looking really good for them right now. And they went back and signed a lot of young players early, from Manny Ramirez and Sandy Alomar Jr., who's now coach of first base. Jim Thome. All these guys were given early contracts for a year and a half in the big leagues. And the Indians through the years have been really good about that. Yan Gomes got a long-term deal after a short time in the big leagues. And you know what? They take risks. They invest, and the players get confidence.
Yep. Did that with Jason Kipnis. He's not in the lineup tonight, but he signed a 6-year deal with them. Brantley was a 2020 guy last year, and he also had 200 hits last season. Very good year, and he's solid defensively. Pitch from Santiago misses. It's 2-2. We have 2 outs. Bottom of the first inning. No score. Great to have you with us on Fox Sports West. Terry Smith and Jose Mota with you on this Friday evening. Night baseball, a rarity for the Angels here in Arizona. There's one low, so it's another full count.
Also, the majority of games we've had a night here in Arizona have been a surprise stadium. Royals or Rangers.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful setup here. Packed house tonight.
Full house, sellout crowd. So again, a 3-2 delivery, and this one is lifted in the air, not too deep at all in left center field. Going back is Ibar, and he will fall off Cowgill and Trout, who makes the grab, and that's how the inning will come to an end. So solid first inning for Santiago. He faces only 3 batters, 1 in the books here in Goodyear. There's no score on Fox Sports West. No score as we start the second inning. This copyrighted broadcast presented by authority of Angels Baseball may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball. So the Angels will get ready to send up Eric Ibar as he goes against Bauer. See Hector Santiago talking in the Angels dugout with Mike Butcher, going over the first inning work, and be pretty pleased with it.
Had to be, in the fact that his mechanics were pretty solid. With the finish especially, no restriction on that stiffness in the forearm.
Here's Bauer's first pitch to Ibar, and Eric takes low and outside.
So I think this guy on the mound is about to break out. I mean, he's gotten to know big league hitters. He's gotten to understand that it takes a little less sometimes. His stuff is good. There's no doubt.
Throws a lot of pitches, has a lot of plus pitches, and he's a guy who was the 3rd player selected in the first round back in the June 2011 draft by the Diamondbacks, but then they traded him. Next delivery 2-0, and it's fouled right into the Tribe dugout on the first base side.
Home run ball, as you alluded to earlier, has been chasing and following Trevor Bauer. 4 home runs. All the earned runs have been on home runs. 6 overall. 6 runs, 4 earned, 4 earned runs, 4 bombs.
Here's one that's chopped foul on the first base side. Bauer, Jose talked about it the first inning, a guy that's had some control issues in the past, a little bit better with his control last year, and so far so good this spring. No walks in his first 12 innings.
See, I would take the home runs. I'm okay with the 4 home runs and no walks anytime right now. His stuff is going to continue to get better.
There's Ibar just tipping one to stay alive. Bauer's only 24 years old.
And there you have Pujols taking notes, saying, okay, saw him earlier. He was pretty good. And the Indians know they might see him a lot this season. Even though they're not division rivals, obviously.
The count's 2-2 on Eric, who chops it right to the first baseman. Easy play for Santana. He fields it right near the bag, and that's the first out. C.J. Cron will step up to the plate. You mentioned Albert Pujols talking to Dino Ebel there in the Angels dugout on the 3rd base side. He might have been wishing Dino a happy birthday today.
Terry, go right ahead.
Yeah. Dino celebrating birthday here. Maybe Albert saying, Dino, what can I get for you for your birthday?
It probably already took place.
There's one a little bit low. The batter is Cron. He's had a nice spring. Crone's hit a pair of home runs. Getting a lot of at-bats this spring. Figures to be in the lineup a lot for the Angels, and he rips one down the left side. That's going to bounce on out near the rim of the track. Brantley slides to stop it and dropped it, but has no chance to get a throw to second, so he just kind of lobs it back to the infield. An extra base hit, a double, one-out double for Crone, and the Angels have a runner in scoring position.
This man gets that front foot down on time, and those hands explode. He is very fast through the zone. As his hands drop and get close to his body, able to keep that knob next and close to his body and just throw that barrel out there. Strong hands. And an interesting case. With the bases empty last year, he was a much different hitter than when there are men on or men in scoring position.
So Chris Iannetta will bat his first time up tonight. He's hitting 7th in the Angels lineup. Bauer checking second, delivers to Iannetta, who takes that one off speed for a ball. Have the infield back, outfield not too deep. And the next pitch, Iannetta takes that one low. Look at the way those outfielders are configured, Jose. You could almost draw a straight line from Brantley right through Bourne over to Murphy, the right fielder.
That's a good point. There it is right there. So they're respecting his power side, which of course is pull side. But Iannetta, especially with men in scoring position, he was really good last year. He hit 320 because he used the middle and the other side of the field.
Next pitch on Iannetta, way up and in. Moved him a little bit off the plate.
There's 2 pitches up and in that the Angels hitters haven't seen very well. And that was on Pujols, now on Chris Iannetta. As your eyes adapt to the lights and, of course, to the type of movement this man possesses, along with that velocity.
Bauer will top out around 97 miles per hour. He has a good arm. 3-0 here on Iannetta. We'll see if he has a green light. He does, and he swings and lifts one high and deep into left field. This ball is well hit. See you later. Out of here. Home run. Iannetta was ready for it. That came on a 3-0 green light, and he punished that ball. It's 2-0 Angels.
In 3-0, why are you going to gain by letting him take his? Trevor Bauer's not going to throw his best fastball in that count. Iannetta's got a great eye. You got to give him the benefit of the doubt, and he absolutely, like his first home run here in camp, just skies it way out there. I remember him telling me that the first home run like this one pretty much is one of those where you don't feel the ball hitting the barrel, but he gets a lot of spin and a towering drive.
So that's the 5th home run that Bauer has given up already this spring. And the batter is Giavitello, who takes a strike. It's 0-1.
Best feeling in the world for anybody. 3-0, swing, home run. Worst feeling in the world, 3-0, pop it up, easy out. As you try to hit a home run.
Here's the next one. Giavitello takes low.
That's 5 home runs already allowed by Trevor Bauer here in spring training in just over 13 innings. 13 1/3, 5 home runs.
He left 16 last year in 153 innings. Here's a bouncer that's hit to the shortstop right between the legs of Lindor. And that's another Cleveland error. They had one in the first inning, and boy, that was an easy ground ball to that talented young shortstop. Had trouble with it.
Yeah, trouble with controlling his body. Yeah, sometimes a lot of skill, a lot of ability will overtake the smarts of becoming a better shortstop. But those are all part of the experience, part of the growing up and the pains of growing up in the big leagues, even in spring training. But a quick point by Terry Francona made it very clear when they got to camp. We must improve on the defense.
That's the first error Lindor has made this spring. So here's the 9-hole hitter, Colin Cowgill. It's 2-0 Angels, second inning in Goodyear. The pitch, and that's line just out of the reach of the shortstop. That'll fall into left where Brantley will throw it back in. Boy, Cowgill's having a nice spring. He's been getting on base a lot. And the Angels have runners at first and second with one away, and turn it back to the top of the order, Cole Calhoun.
Chicago with a new grip. Practice perfected with Rick Eggstein over the offseason, who's really showing way more flexibility and whip through the zone than what we saw last year when he would put the bat on his back shoulder and sometimes just stiffen up too much with the wrists.
Cole Calhoun, the batter, first time up, a strikeout victim. We'll see if he makes some adjustments here. Second go around against Bauer. Calhoun's had 7 hits the last 10 times that he's batted this spring. First pitch, low, good stop by Gomes, who's a very good catcher, all-around catcher, one of the better ones in the American League.
Gomes can block, he can throw, but also he must reduce the amount of errors. He makes a lot of errors back there.
Time called. Stepping out of the batter's box is Cole Calhoun. Angels would like to get some more. Pair in on the Iannetta home run. 1 out, 2 on. Here's Bauer's pitch, and a cut and a miss by Cole Calhoun.
You can tell right now the toughest pitch to pick up is off speed, down in the zone. And that would naturally go with the conditions. Playing your first night game here in spring training for the Angels hitters.
Trout waiting on deck. Bauer slowing it down a bit here. Normally a quick worker, people on base taking some more time, and there's an off-speed pitch in there on Cole Calhoun.
There it is once again. I mean, you're just not facing a guy that's going to be painting corners and throwing high 80s. You're facing a guy with a good arm, and then you got to worry about spin and tumbling move on split fingers and the changeups and the curveballs.
Next delivery on Cole Calhoun, and he drills one into right center field. That's another ball. It's well hit, and that is going to split the outfielders there. A run is scored, and runners at second and third on the double by Cole Calhoun. 3-0 Angels.
Well, Calhoun took a good pitcher's pitch when he didn't see it well, and now what do? You sit on it. You got to sit off speed. And what you're hoping for is that that off speed becomes a mistake, and that's exactly what happened. So on the mental side, you got to give it to Cole Calhoun. Going out there smartly, saying if the fastball beats me, I'm going to be late. That's fine. But he looked for one pitch, off speed, stayed back, and look what happened. With Rojo once again.
So Trout steps up. He's been by far the top RBI man for the Angels this spring, and he has a chance to get some more. Runners at second and third. 3 are in the inning, only 1 out. Last 5 have reached base safely, and the pitch called strike on Mike.
All 4 hits, no cheap ones this inning. All hit very hard. Starting with a 3-0 by this man right here. 3-0 home run, second of the spring for Chris Iannetta.
Here's the next one on Trout, and he cuts it that one. The pitcher was outside. He misses it.
I think Mike Trout was looking at the Goodyear ballpark. Big scoreboard in left field on that swing.
Trout struck out his first time up.
In this thin air, it's pretty reachable.
Bauer shaking off his catcher, Yan Gomes. Trout, batter number 7 in the inning. I mentioned the last 5 have all reached base safely. There's been an error along the way. The pitch on Trout, and never really missed by much. Close one to take with 2 strikes a ball.
That is a pretty good sequence right there. You got Trout jumping, also looking off speed. Anytime you see that back leg kind of kick off a little bit, lose his toe hold, there's a reason. As Bauer tried to run the fastball back.
Bauer's body language right now not too good. He has slowed it down. Trout awaits the 2-strike pitch, and he takes a breaking ball outside and low. Trevor Bauer, when he was growing up and when drafted out of UCLA, a lot of Tim Lincecum comparisons. A little bit bigger than Lincecum, but not much bigger. Here's the next pitch. Trout swings, fouls that one off on the right side, backing out of play.
Mike Trout has been sizzling, along with Cole Calhoun, who's standing at second base. These numbers just don't lie. They lie less because you look at what happened last spring, and he could surpass those. And of course, we all know what happened after last spring, and he left Arizona onto MVP. And what he feels most proud of, a postseason appearance by his ball club.
Here's the next one on Mike. That's outside. Angels now have kind of gone past the midway point of spring training games. This is number 16. It's 31. And in the first 15, the Angels are 7-7-1. The Indians are 6-10-1 so far this spring. Counts full on Trout. Then next pitch, and he lines one into right field. Going back, making the grab on that one is Murphy. Tagging and coming in to score easily will be Cowgill. It's another RBI for Trout, and it's a 4-0 Angels lead.
Well, the Angels have done a good job sitting on pitches. That's another one right there. And a full count. Well, Mike Trout says he's shown me everything. I just don't think he is going to trust his fastball all that much. And all it took is for Trout to dip that front shoulder and get that breaking ball. And luckily, he did not elevate it, because that ball would have been off that wall easily. Great pass through the zone.
So Pujols will bat. Angels still have a runner in scoring position. That's Cole Calhoun. 2 of the 4 runs in this inning are unearned against Bauer due to that error by the shortstop Lindor. Albert reached on an error by Bauer in the first inning, and here's the pitch. It's popped in the air into right field. Murphy's coming in hard, and he will make the running catch, and that will end the inning. Good inning for the Angels, though, as the Angels come up with 4, and it was Chris Iannetta who did the damage. 3-0 pitch that he took out for his second home run this spring. It's 4-0 Angels as we go to the bottom of the second. Stadium, where things are going quite well for the Angels here in the early going. A 4-0 lead. Hector Santiago, who has a home right here in this town of Goodyear, is on the hill. Stake to the early lead.
Hope Hector was allowed to just come over here and do all his stretching and pregame routine instead of driving to Tempe and back here.
Yeah, might have had a nice early dinner before coming over to the ballpark tonight.
In fact, Hector built a mound in his backyard this offseason. And he said, I built it mainly to go out there and work on those lanes that we've been talking about so much. There's 2 lanes he draws, and those will become automatic for him to stay on his path to home plate.
Carlos Santana, switch hitter at the plate. Counts 0-2 on him. He's batting cleanup, playing first base. He was a catcher for a number of years for Cleveland. No longer doing that now. And the pitch on its way. That's low and inside.
This guy's a combination of power, both sides of the plate, and the ability to get on base. He will take his walks. And had he not walked a lot last year, he probably would have hit about 180.
As it turned out, just 231 batting average. He grounds one softly to Freeze. Should be an easy out, and will be. So Santiago has retired the first 4 in a row tonight, and Yan Gomes, the Indians catcher, will be the next hitter.
There's 2 pitches inside that have been effective for Santiago tonight against right-handed batters. A cut fastball that struck out Lindor, and on now on Carlos Santana really gets that bat label.
Gomes is a right-handed batter. Santiago's first delivery, and that's in there for a called strike.
Dangerous hitter. Saw him come up with the Toronto Blue Jays in 2012. 21 home runs and 74 RBIs. Not too shabby for a catcher.
Here's the next pitch, and Gomes fouls that one back. He was born in Brazil, moved to the U.S. down in South Florida to Miami as a teenager. He is the first Brazilian-born position player, and has really developed into a solid all-around player at the major league level. Only 27 years old. Next pitch, and this is lined into right field. Going to fall in for the Indians' first hit. 1-out single here in the second.
He sees a count that perhaps thinks Santiago's going to waste something, but Gomez stays with his approach going the other way and finds something out over the plate. I am quite sure Iannetta, along with Santiago, would love to get that pitch back.
So it brings up Ryan Rayburn, reserve player that can play a number of positions for the Indians. He's DHing for them here tonight. Angels have the shift on the left side, and the first one is low. Good stop on that one by Chris Iannetta. A lot of daylight on that right side of the infield. Really 90 feet of daylight between first and second. Albert, or I should say C.J. Cron, who's playing first base, is pretty tight to the bag over there, just off it. Here's the next pitch, and that one pitch and misses.
Here's where you see too the difference when guys roll and hit ground balls. Obviously, there's a huge difference in 2 ways of scouting. When he rolls over, what does he do? How about when he hits a ball in the air? Well, everybody is pretty much straight up in the outfield.
Here's the next pitch. Go low and outside.
Santiago had taken the last 3 batters to 0-2. And now he's falling behind here against Rayburn, a guy that you cannot take for granted. He loves a wheelhouse, turn and burn type of guy.
Here's the delivery, and that one is taken for a called strike. Rayburn, when he gets set in the batter's box, kind of lays that bat on his right shoulder. He hit only 200 last season. He's a better hitter than that. Had some knee issues, surgery during last season. And the next pitch, that's low, and that's ball 4. So 2 are on, 1 away.
We're talking, Terry, in the open about Santiago and some of the things Mike Scioscia would like to see, of course. The fact that it doesn't look like he's hindered at all by that line drive that hit him. Just around above his left wrist last time out. But also extending and throwing strikes. It's a big start. It's a big start for Santiago today because he is the one Angels pitcher who has now made his 4th start. And Mike Scioscia is going to go out and let him get extended. Here's what happened. against the White Sox, his former ball club, pretty casually the most strikes, and we didn't know where it was until he had to come out of the game.
Struck on that ball, hit back to the mound on Sunday. Here's the next delivery after the little meeting with Iannetta, and this is David Murphy batting, and he takes ball one. Santiago working with a 4-run lead. We're in the bottom of the second. Here's the pitch, and that is a called strike. That's the kind of thing, though, Jose, when your team puts 4 on the board, has a multiple run inning, you want to come out there that same bottom of the inning in this case and not have people get on base against you.
All strikes, that's it. Right? Keep it simple.
Healthy lead right now.
Keep that defense alive for you to prevent some runs when you're leading by 4 runs.
Here's one foul back to the screen. You'd like to see a lockdown inning, but Santiago allowing a couple base runners here, still has a chance to get out of some trouble.
That was a lockdown type of swing, lefty, and David Murphy not getting cheated. That's why he is so valuable. He's looking in one direction saying, wow, I just missed that one. And you saw a lot of David Murphy as a Texas Ranger, and he hurt the Angels plenty through the years.
Signed last year, 2-year deal with Cleveland, so he'll be a free agent when the year's over. Now again, Santiago and Iannetta are going to talk things over. Want to get on the same page here.
And here's where Johnny Giavotella is going to the mound. Of course, he hasn't made that many starts for the Angels. He's got to relearn the sequence and systems and signs. And if it's about signs and indicators, Johnny Giavotella is a young one in that infield. Wants to make sure he's getting the same thing that Eric Ibar is getting. I have a feeling, Terry, Johnny Giavotella is going to be given every chance to go out there and win this job outright at second base.
We've been seeing him play a lot lately. So everyone said, here's the 1-2 pitch, and that's low and outside on Murphy.
You know, and all the guys, in fact, that we talked about, Rutledge, Green, Giavotella played left field the other day in a B game. Mike Socha has given a lot of guys like Featherston himself too a chance to play many positions.
So it's a 2-2 count. Next delivery. This one is chopped foul, first base side. Crone fielding it, but it was a few feet off the line.
Now, if we're going to base it on experience and games started at second base, Johnny Giavotella has the most starts as second baseman amongst the candidates. Here's another big point, Terry, for me. Eric Ibar has to know who he's working with. Not the last 3 days of camp, okay?
Yeah.
He needs to know to get into a rhythm with the guy next to him and where the ball is going to be hit and where he likes to see the ball. All those things that go along with playing along somebody new, they don't come in 3 days.
Murphy cuts it. That one fouls it back to the screen, so he's battling here. Lefty-lefty matchup. Mention those 4 players all kind of in the mix for second base. Giavotella 250 batting average this spring.
You know, consider Giavotella is also out of options.
Yeah.
You know, Featherstone's a guy that, as of right now, would make the club as a backup infielder overall. And he's showing great versatility and pretty consistent bat.
Next pitch, grounded sharply to Crone. Has it, goes to second for one. Relay to first, and not in time. It was close over there. Santiago was covering first on that throw back over to the bag by Ibar.
Let's take a look at it. Ball hit pretty hard. Good smooth hands there shown by C.J. Crone. Quick turn and a very firm feed right away to Eric Ibar. David Murphy moving well down the line, and Hector Santiago did not take the best angle. And of course, the ball getting hit so fast does not allow you all that time. Santiago luckily did not get hurt there or stepped on the way he got to first base.
Yeah, actually, they were checking out Murphy over there at first base, who hit that ball. He assures him he's okay.
Here's once again Santiago's foot. That's what causes all of this for Murphy. Terry, and as boring as it might be sometimes, we talked to Mark Gubers about this a lot, the importance of just the basic of taking your angles and pacing and not being a fan watching let play develop. But that's why PFP is so repetitious and so important here in camp.
Yeah, Santiago might have been lucky right there. He didn't get hurt.
He went straight to the bag instead of cutting across the bag and making that angle for himself along the line.
Here's Chisenhall, left-handed batter, and they have a few in the lineup. A luxury of sorts for Santiago tonight. First pitch of ball, though. It's 1-0. 2 outs. 4-0 Angels. Bottom of the second here in Goodyear. Infield now backed up. And the next pitch, Chisenhall takes outside.
Let's take another look here. Here's Santiago's foot, and there's Murphy's foot stepping, I believe, more on Santiago than on the bag itself. Anytime you see a pitcher do a quick hop like that backwards, it's scary around that first baseman.
Yeah, Santiago's lucky, he really is. The pitch, and that one is foul. He's been involved in some situations here his last couple of starts this spring, so he's been a little bit on the lucky side. Get one smack back to the mound. I guess it happened today to Kershaw in the Dodgers game. That was a scary moment.
Scary one.
And of course Santiago had that ball hit right back toward him on Sunday in that game against the White Sox. 2 balls, 1 strike to count on Chisenhall. They had a pretty good year last year for the Cleveland Indians. They've been kind of waiting for this guy to blossom.
He was 2 different players before the All-Star break and after. Before the All-Star break, he was terrific. He was the talk of the town. We finally got a third baseman, but after the All-Star break, he was a .218 hitter. Before the break, he was a .332 hitter.
He had a 3-homer, 9 RBI game against Texas last June. 5 hits in that game. Here's the pitch on him, and he lifts it high in the air into shallow left field. This should be the inning. Calgill waiting. It's right in his glove, and that's how the inning will come to an end. So Santiago pitches out of some trouble here in the bottom of the second inning. We're headed to the third. 4-0 Angels.
Arizona as the Angels lead the Indians 4-0. Moving up to the top of the third. Well, it is a night game, but Terry, that didn't stop us from this afternoon getting a close look at one of our favorite sights here in spring training. And of course, all those retired jetliners that are just beyond the right field side here in Goodyear.
That is the Phoenix Goodyear Airport, and that's where commercial planes go to rest, Jose.
There's plenty of those here in the state of Arizona along the desert.
Yep. So the batter is going to be David Freese. He grounded out his first time up. It's 4-0 Angels as we start the third inning. Here's the first pitch from Bauer, and that was a swing and a miss. Beautiful night for baseball here in the Valley. Angels will be back in Tempe to take on the Giants tomorrow. They'll be back-to-backers against the Giants. Two teams, Angels and Giants, will play Sunday in Scottsdale. Tomorrow it's going to be Jared Weaver against Tim Lincecum, and then Sunday C.J. Wilson against Madison Bumgarner. Giants have had a tough spring. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss by Freese, and Boy Bauer had an easy time with him right there. 3-pitch strikeout against David Freese.
Not trying to throw it too hard. Implementing now his breaking ball. We saw a very sweeping one earlier for a ball. And for Trevor Bauer, pretty much like Houston Street, he goes way far here to begin his delivery and regain his balance.
On that first base side of the pitching rubber, and he delivers on Ibar, hits it sharply by the first baseman Santana, and that's going to roll down in the right field corner. Ibar is going to get at least 2. He might head for 3, and he will, and he is going to slide in safely with a triple. Eric Ibar legs out 3. The Angels have another one in scoring position. He ripped that ball by Santana, the first baseman, and then Murphy had to track it down all the way near the 345 side. Ibar hustling as he heads into second base, and he wasn't going to stop. He knew he had a shot at 3, and he got it easily.
Well, for Eric Ibar, he understands more about the dimensions. He understands a little bit about where the right fielder was playing him. And that is already 2 triples for Eric. Came into this game hitting .231. 6 for 26, but not overall worried about where his swing is, because as you can see, there's been a lot of balls hit just like that have been outs.
Here's Cron batting now. He has a chance to drive in a run. He took a big cut at that pitch and fouls it back. Cron has doubled. He scored the first Angel run. His run came in when Iannetta homered last inning, and Iannetta jumped on a 3-0 pitch from Bauer. Here's the next one. A little check swing there, and tapped foul, not too far away from Iannetta.
Well, this is a situation where C.J. Cron blossomed last year. Look at these numbers. Runners on, 322. The scoring position, 361. But there's nobody aboard. He just tried to create way too much. Hit only 197. He's been a run producer since his college days and beyond that, in high school around this area too.
Fastball high to him.
He improved to the point where he got demoted. Improved down there. Came back and was in the Angels lineup against the Royals in the playoffs.
Next pitch. That's hit well into left center field. He put a charge into that one in left center, and that ball's going to bang high off the fence. That'll be a run, and headed for third is Cron. He better hurry. The throw, he's safe. Back-to-back triples for the Angels, and it's 5-0. That one nearly got out. In fact, both Bourne and Brantley went after it. I think maybe thought it was going to go.
And here's the pitch, elevated breaking ball. He stays right on it, uses those strong hands. He thought he had it when he put his head down there, but once the ball came, not just off the wall, but then off the foot of Michael Bourne, he turned it on. And it's good to see him be aggressive and get right in before that tag.
Close at third base, and
pretty crafty slide too with that left foot, bringing it in.
So here's Iannetta. Angels up 5-0 now, and the pitch on Chris Iannetta. That one is on the outside part of the plate for a called strike. Back-to-back triples in a game, certainly a rarity. It's probably harder to do than back-to-back home runs, really. This one that's fouled back to the screen.
I'll tell you, it happened here in spring training, and the Angels may not see this happen in the regular season in years.
Yeah.
Here's a long home run by Chris Iannetta again. Great spin he gets out there. A lot of backspin. Don't go for the win whatsoever.
Cleared the bullpens on that 3-0 pitch that he hit out last inning. Here's the next one on its way. This is hit deep enough into right center field. It's going to get the run in. Making the catch is Murphy, and tagging and scoring easily will be Crone from third base. So Iannetta on the sac fly. He has his third RBI of the night, and now it's a 6-0 Angels lead here in the third.
What lights am I talking about, Terry? What trail? What blurriness? These Angels hitters are loving playing under the lights here in Goodyear. They are scoring the baseball, mainly staying very well on the off speed and letting those fastballs out of the zone go. They're forcing it into the zone, and it could be that Bauer's working on some things that so far are not paying off.
There's Giovitella batting, and he drops one just foul on the first base side. If I'm not mistaken, the Angels had a game, it might have been last spring against Bauer, where they really roughed him up. He was pretty good against the Angels in the regular season, but there was a game in Arizona where the Angels knocked him around, hit some home runs off of him. He's having a tough time against the Halos here tonight.
He had the Angels number in Cleveland, though, in the regular season for one start.
Yeah,
he was really good.
Here's the pitch. That one is hit well in the left center field as well. Going after it is Bourne, and that's going to take a bounce and smack off the wall in deep left center. We might have our third triple of the inning. The throw to third, and safe is Giovitella. 3 of the last 4 Angel batters have tripled in this inning. I don't know that we'll ever see that again.
Triple up.
Yeah.
Gary DiSarcina has seen a lot of guys on their own. There's not DiSarcina sending him. These are guys making decisions right around and before the second base bag. And Johnny Giovitella absolutely himself, like Arbar and Crow, turned it on. And we are hoping that Giovitella is fine over there at third base as he is being looked at. Angels athletic trainer out of Nebula. But here's the slide once again. He hits the ground hard and runs into the third baseman Chisenhall.
And that head first dive into third base kind of dislodged the baseball, because it looked like the throw was there in time, and now they're checking out. Looks like his left thumb.
That is the inherent risk. Sliding head first, especially when you slide a little bit late and there's the guy guarding the bag with the legs extended, and you're not having much give in your hands. He took an air dive out there. And of course, when you dive that late, you're so focused on staying anchored to the bag.
So the Angels have put 2 on the board in the inning and 6 so far in the game. And it brings up Cowgill. First pitch to Colin Cowgill. He takes it ball 1. He's had a hit. When you think about the 3 triples here in this inning, probably the there's a pitch that bounces in. It gets away from Gomes, and the throw to the plate's late, and breaking in and scoring will be Giovitella. It's now 7-0. So the Angels can do no wrong here.
Well, this looked like a pitch that Trevor Bauer just absolutely wanted to throw it through a brick wall. You see that very often happen on a fastball, and the ball was carrying so hard off the ground that it got Gomes' shin guard. I mean, he had no chance to even turn his glove over with the velocity.
Here's the pitch, and that is a swing and a miss at the 2-0 by Cowgill. 2-1 the count.
The Angels having a good offensive put out here. After facing 4 hitters and allowing the only one to get on via error, Bauer, has seen everything just go south the second inning.
There's a fly ball lifted into right center field. This one is hit well and out by
He's
the
going
wall.
3. He's going to go 3.
Bounce off the wall. Cowgill goes for a triple. The throw, he is safe. Wow.
Terry, at some point, did you know he had to go for it?
Well,
he had to.
He never hesitated. 4 triples from the last 5 batters.
Gotta do it. Gotta do it. Hey, just do it for your teammates on the dugout as a dare. I guarantee I'm going to make it. Hey, Carver got everything started. Having a nice party out there at the Angels dugout.
He had the first of 4 triples in the inning. Then Crone had one, and Giavotella had one, and now Cowgill has had one. Triple your pleasure. Triple your fun.
Trevor Bauer saying, I had given up 4 home runs coming into this game, but never in his life did he imagine giving up 4 triples, not in a game, in an inning.
Yeah. The Angels have also had a couple doubles and a homer off of them, and we're still in the top of the 3rd. 7-0. Here's the 1-0 on Cole Calhoun, and that one is popped back foul, out of play.
And they're not getting cheated. Here's when you think, I'm not staying behind, I'm going. That ball drops and keeps going into the 380 gap. I am not stopping. No need to look at Gary DiSarcina. That play's right in front of you.
So it's been an amazing inning for the Angels. 3 runs and 4 triples in the inning, and the pitch. This is hit well into center field, but Bourne is there waiting, and he will squeeze it. And that's how the inning will end. 7 step up, and 4 of them had triples. The Angels with a 3-run inning. We are headed to the bottom of the 3rd. 7-0 Angels on Fox Sports West. In favor of the Angels. Hector Santiago stick to the big lead. Fans, the 20-game flex plan is a great way to see Angels baseball. Select the 20 games you want to see from a schedule which includes opening night, premium matchups, and popular giveaway nights. Buy your flex plan at angels.com/ticket plans or call 888-796-HALO.
Hector Santiago has to go to work and treat this game the same mentality as if it was 1-0.
He faces Michael Martinez, who's batting for the first time, the second baseman, 9-hole hitter for the Indians, who spent time with the Pirates a little bit last year. 28 games, did not hit much though, and the pitch grounded on the third base side just out of the reach of Freese. Got a little bit of glove on it to slow it down, and now headed for second is Martinez, and his throw will get there in time. Cowgill bouncing that throw into second base, so a leadoff double.
David Freese cutting the distance because Martinez can run and will bunt, and of course this ball gets by him very quickly. All he can do as a third baseman is go out there and react and try to knock it down, and Martinez, because of his legs and his versatility, Terry, is big on Michael Martinez, of course. That's why he's got a chance to make the ball club.
Yeah, he's a guy that played just about every position except pitcher and catcher and first base. Other than that, played everywhere else. Here's a ground ball bounced on the right side. It's right at Giavotella. The throw will easily get born, and Martinez moves over to third base on that ground out. So that's out number 1, and Lindor, the 21-year-old shortstop, will be the next hitter.
Well, because it is spring training, you got to go out there and work on some things. And for Michael Bourne, his idea there is not that this game's out of hand 7-0. His idea there is to go out there and execute the things that are going to make the team overall successful. Got the runner over to third. It's a good job.
Lindor took a called third strike his first time up and lifts one high in the air down the left field side. Toward the line is Cowgill. Let's see if the runner tags. He will. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's going to bounce a few times, and it's just late. And scoring on that sac fly will be Michael Martinez.
I'll tell you one thing. As poor a throw as it was a close play, and we know that Colin Cowgill is a plus thrower. We can see the reaction from him. He did not get a good grip. Watch here. That ball goes straight down. Pretty much a ground ball, and look how close it was on a poor throw. And he could only laugh, of course. I mean, sometimes it does happen. You can't get a grip and you sink it.
So it's 7-1 Angels now with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third.
So there it goes. Michael Bourne gets the job done. Gets a guy over. They score.
Here's a liner that's going to bounce on out to the wall in right field. Cole Calhoun just getting to it, and going to be another extra base hit in this game. It's a double for Brantley as he just kind of coasts into second base. So we are seeing a boatload of extra base hits here in the early going.
And for Hector, he keeps leaving balls over the plate and not executing a little bit better, and he might find himself with a short outing here, which is exactly what Mike Swisher does not want to do.
Santana will bat. He grounded out to third his first time up. 2 outs, runner at second, run in. 7-1 Angels, bottom of the third, and the next pitch. Here's a ground ball sharply hit off the glove of Freese. Ibar will back up, but he has no throw anywhere, and they have runners at the corners. It was hit hard. Freese got a lot of glove on it.
It's a ball there that David Freese knows he's got to make that play. That ball's not hit that far. Yes, the ball did kind of eat him up, but it's a play that Freese knows he has to make.
We're going to score to hit. So runners at the corners, 2 outs. And Gomes will be the next batter. He singled his first time up. 3 hits in this inning here against Santiago. Here's the pitch, and he fooled Gomes on that one. He misses it for strike one. We were talking about the Angels. 4 triples in the top of the inning. The Dodgers had a game last season where they had 5 triples in a game, and Yasiel Puig had 3 triples in the same game. That was a game back in late July. Dodgers beat the Giants in that one. 3 triples by 1 player in 1 game. That doesn't happen often. I mean, even 2 is a lot for 1 player in 1 game.
Some players don't have 3 in their career.
Yeah, 3 in a season.
I think anybody was stopping Puig around second base? Absolutely not. Maybe 2 would have been double for somebody else, but not for Yasiel.
Yeah. Here's the next pitch. That's low. Look at the Angels lineup tonight, and of the 9 hitters in the lineup, 7 of the 9 had 3 triples or less apiece all last season. Santiago is ready. Taking some time, and he delivers, and that is a called strike on the outside corner. We're told that in a regular season major league game, the last time that a team had 4 triples in a regular season game in the same inning, 1984. So that's how rare that top half of the third inning was tonight for the Angels. Of course, an exhibition game, but it was fun to see. Here's the next pitch. That one is outside.
You're talking about regular season oddities, things like that. I just don't think anything will surpass Chan Ho Park and Fernando Tatis. 2 grand slams with the same batter in the same inning. How does that happen? Will never happen again. Oh my goodness.
Here's the next pitch. popped up foul on the first base side. That's going to get back and out of play. Friday night baseball under the lights here in Goodyear, and the Angels up 7-1 on Fox Sports West. Terry Smith, Jose Mota with you. Angels have allowed their regulars here tonight. Indians have quite a few in their lineup as well. Here's the next pitch. That's low, and that is ball four. And Santiago hit the deck after that pitch. He fell down.
He just has not looked as fluid as he did in that first inning. He just, at this point, just mechanically is not sound. Seems like he's cutting his pitches off now. You can see with the arm, man. That tells you a lot about what you're talking about early in the game. About not cutting your pitches, not yanking them. And there's got to be some concern about Hector with this type of lead, and hopefully it's nothing related to that ball that hit him right above his left wrist in his last outing.
Think about Santiago, Jose. Things just do not come easily for him. Been a hard luck pitcher in his career.
30th rounder. What else? Yeah. Started 3 years in Single A. Took him a while to get to the big leagues. Started 0-7 last season. Finished 6-9.
Here's the pitch with the bases loaded. It's grounded to short. Ibar will go to first, and the throw is in time, and Santiago minimizes the damage. The inning is over on a 6-3 ground out. When we get back, Angels will have Trout, Pujols, and Freese stepping up. 7-1 Angels. We get ready to go to the fourth inning. No changes yet so far in this game. So Bauer continues pitching. And Mike Trout will be the first batter that he will face. Trout's struck out and driven in a run with a sac fly.
Trout smoked a slider to right field last time up after striking out with the changeup or split finger in the first inning. From Trevor Bauer, this is my fastball command work inning right here. We already scored 7 runs. I need to get back to establishing the foundation with my fastball and see what happens. The Angels have really hurt his secondary pitches here tonight.
First delivery on Trout. Takes it up and in. First pitch fastball. Trout swings and grounds one through the left side of the infield in between Chisenhall and Lindor, and that's his first hit of the night. Leadoff single for the Angels. All-star center fielder brings up Albert Pujols.
All those contagious good swings continue to pile on here against Trevor Bauer. 9 hits for the Angels in 3+ innings. And it doesn't matter what he's thrown up there, it is getting hit hard.
What's up with Trout? He didn't hit a triple.
He's falling behind, man.
Yeah.
Well,
he's got to get with the flow here.
Yeah, but he's keeping Don Baylor happy, though, with those swings.
Well, maybe he'll steal second and third. Who knows? Here's the pitch. Albert takes, and that is a strike on the outside corner. In the Indians bullpen, former Angel Michael Roth is warming up, the left-hander.
Michael Roth was scheduled as a BU today, which means backup. In case we need an arm, somebody falls short, you're there.
Pitch on Albert, right in there for a called strike. Bauer 65 pitches right now. I would have liked to see him make 65, 66 pitches in a few more innings. Here's the next one, and that is a called strike on Albert Pujols, and he doesn't like the call. He's out looking. Fourth strikeout in the game for Bauer, and it looks like that's going to be it for Trevor Bauer.
Yeah, that's a pitch that Albert Pujols knows in the regular season. He's going to be protecting the plate. And he went to the fastball and got him.
So Bauer will be lifted. I guess we'll see Michael Roth coming in, the former Angel. Angels on top 7-1 here in the top of the fourth on Fox Sports West. Angels up 7-1, and one of the reasons that's the score, the Angels inning an inning ago in the top of the third.
Eric Ibar got things going, and right inside that line, Ibar not stopping. He makes it easily. Perhaps the easiest slide was Ibar. And then C.J. Cron thought he had a home run. But Karam, he speeds up. Johnny Givotilla, scary slide at third base. He makes it in. And then Colin Calgo says from the batter's box, this is going to be a triple. I am not stopping. He makes it in cleanly. I love it.
So a lot of fun here in the early goings for the Angels. The major league record for triples in 1 inning 5.
Keep in mind, keep in mind, this is all regular season stuff we're talking about.
But in the regular season, the last time a team had 4 triples in the same inning over 30 years ago.
It's hard.
So quite a night for the Halos right now. Here's Freeze as he faces the former Angel Michael Roth, who's trying to win a spot in the bullpen for the Indians here in 2015. And his first delivery, that one is in there for a called strike. Roth has done a pretty good job. This is his 5th appearance this spring. 5 innings. He's allowed 5 hits, 1 run. ERA is 1.80.
I think Roth has a good idea as to what Yan Gomes is putting there with 2 split fingers, and I think he had him throwing over. He did not know the sign very well. Now puts down the fastball away.
There's a broken bat bouncer out of the reach of Santana. It's going to be a base hit into right field. Heading on to third is Trout, and the Angels are threatening again with runners at the corners. Freeze has his first hit tonight, and the Angels have their 10th hit already in this ball game.
That's when you know you're hot. You're breaking bats. You're getting balls to get by infielders that quickly. You're doing something right. It's your night.
So Eric Ibar will be the next batter. Ibar started the string of triples for the inning for the Angels last inning. Parade of triples, and there's one that's grounded foul on the third base side. Mentioned Roth, the former Angel, and there's another former Angel left-handed reliever trying to win a spot in the bullpen for Cleveland this spring. It's Scott Downs, who's worked in 5 games for Cleveland so far in the Cactus League.
There's 3 of them, including Nick Miranda, who's done well for the Indians here also. In fact, Miranda has started a game for the Indians.
There's a cut and a miss. Ibar fooled on that one. Roth is not a hard thrower. He's going to try and keep hitters off balance. He had a tough year last year with the Angels. Trout the lead runner at third, and here's the next pitch. That's flying outside. Base runner at first is Freeze.
Here's where you as a hitter and Eric Ibar, who has seen pitches from Roth when you're playing behind him, hope to see the same thing you saw there when you were scouting him when he was your teammate, and to follow the patterns that he used against hitters.
Next one, it's bounced on the left side, just out of the reach of Chisenhall. It's going to bring in Trout. RBI hit for Ibar.
And he did it. Ibar followed through. He had an idea as to how Michael Roth likes to approach hitters in these type of situations. It's what makes Eric Ibar a smart player. He is clever when it comes down to anticipating, getting prepared. Gets it right through the hole. Good job. Good approach of hitting.
Angels have been scoring some runs lately here in the Cactus League. 8 already tonight. Had 7 yesterday against the Dodgers. And then in the game that the Angels had on Tuesday against the Rockies, the Angels scored 11 in that one.
See, what happens is the regular players want to get out of here as soon as possible, Terry, so they want those at-bats out of the way.
Yeah.
The Angels bouncing back tomorrow against the Giants at home. Team Lincecum, Jared Weaver. Good matchup in Tempe Diablo Stadium.
C.J. Cron is the batter now on the pitch. He took a big cut and fouls that one off on the right side. He's already doubled and tripled his 2 times up.
Here we see once again there's confusion between Michael Roth and Yan Gomes. Another visit to the mound here by Gomes.
Angels ended up touching Bauer for 8 runs, 6 earned in 3 1/3 innings. He gave him 9 hits in walking. He struck out 4 at a wild pitch and gave up the home run to Iannetta. That's what got the Angels going in the second. 8-1 Angels in the fourth. The pitch lifted high and hit deep into center field. Horn is going back, still going back. Dead center, jumps up and catches it as he bangs into the 4-10 sign. Tagging for the Angels is going to be Freeze, and he is going to be gunned down. So the inning will end on a fly-out double play right there. That was a nice play by Bourne, who crashed into the wall in center, made a strong throw, and then the relay guns down Freeze easily as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Bottom of the fourth we go here in Goodyear. Hector Santiago still on the hill for the Angels.
This ball went absolutely crushed by C.J. Cron. Just misses a home run. As Michael Bourne was signed for reasons like this, go out there and cover some ground. And the best thing is he's in a good position, throw the ball to your cutoff man, and then fire away. They got him by a lot. Yeah, Freese did the right thing in getting away from the bag, but in that situation, you don't need to force it. Stay home. You're still in scoring position.
So David Murphy will lead it off against Santiago. Hector's given up 4 hits and a run in his 3 innings. Here's his pitch. Lefty-lefty matchup. That one's hit hard, but way foul back to the seats on the right side. Cleveland Indians this offseason, not a whole lot of movement. No real big name players of sorts leaving their club. Here's one that's grounded to second. Easy play for Giavotella. Throws out Murphy. 4-3 on the ground out, 1 away.
They did add it. A big power guy named Brandon Moss. And Brandon Moss tortured the Angels as an Oakland Athletic. So far, Moss limited to only 5 games, 14 at bats, 2 home runs.
He was another guy, though, Jose. He really tailed off in the second half of last season.
Absolutely.
He was an all-star last year for Oakland. Second half, anything but. Here's a bouncer foul on the right side. The other, I guess, main acquisition by the Indians this offseason was Gavin Floyd, but he hurt his elbow again.
Surgery.
Fractured his elbow.
Yep. Surgery again.
And he was coming off the Tommy John elbow surgery, which saw him only pitch less than 55 innings last year when he was with Atlanta. There's one fouled off down the left side out of play.
Making headlines for the Indians, of course, is a prize acquisition for them just a couple of years ago. Nick Swisher still out, having trouble. Both knees operated on. And Nick Swisher saying, well, this time I just understand. I just cannot rush it. He thought around September that he was going to be back at 100% playing day 1 of spring training. Not the case. It has not been the best of homecomings for the Swish.
Chisenhall at the plate. Hits one on the first base side, foul. Just a couple feet foul. Santiago's had the luxury of working with a big lead most of the night. Angels put 4 on the board for him in the top of the second. 3 more for him in the top of the third. Another run here in the 4th inning. 8-1 Halos, bottom of the 4th. Pitch on its way, lined into right field. That's going to drop in, and it might be another extra base hit. Headed for second base is Chisenhall, and the throw is late. So the Indians have had 3 doubles here the last couple of innings against Santiago, and it brings up their number 9 hitter, Michael Martinez.
This is what Lonnie Chisenhall was doing so well first half of the season. Finishing his swing, spraying the ball around, a lot of line drives. Until he sizzled after the All-Star break, but overall a pretty decent hitter. Against lefties last year, he was better than against right-handers. 294 Chisenhall against left-handers, 276 against right-handers. Because of reasons like that last swing, great finish.
Pitch on Martinez, low, skipped away from Iannetta, but not too far away, so no advancement by the base runner Chisenhall. He stays at second. Here's the pitch, and it's lifted in the air into left center field. Trout is chasing, so is Cowgill, but it's going to be Trout who makes the call and catch, and the runner remains at second. No advancement. Good job by Trout to quickly fire that ball over to Eric Ibar, the cutoff man. Second out in the inning.
I think that Mike Trout has gotten better on since his first days in the big league, is getting behind the baseball. Times when he first came up, of course, he didn't practice enough in the minors, and he was flat-footed. Teams ran on him. They still do run on him. They challenge Mike Trout. But a lot of times, all it takes is for you to create some momentum coming forward. And the runner sees it. Sometimes the third base coach sees it. Even the first base coach can see it if you're tagging at first base to make you stop because they see the momentum you're creating and staying behind the baseball.
Here's Bourne at the plate. Made that nice catch on the ball that Crone hit at the top of the inning to center field. And the pitch. He takes it for a called strike.
That's that bad one that I really tipped my hat on him. Team down by 7 runs. You have a man at second base. Nobody out, and you sacrifice by rolling over and getting the guy over, and they eventually score that run.
There's a pitch low. That one skips between the legs of Iannetta, and easily moving to third base will be Chisenhall. Probably be a pass ball there.
Take a look. This should be a wild pitch on this one. The ball hits the dirt. Iannetta could have done a better job staying down lower.
Yeah, they're going to score at a wild pitch. But
rarely will you see a pass ball, Terry, as you know very well, when it hits the dirt.
I hear you, but Iannetta could have done a better job on that one.
Should have blocked it.
Here's the pitch. A little low and outside. Other than the first inning when Santiago had a clean inning, he's had to work out of the stretch. Done a good job of minimizing the damage, but he has had to work hard here, especially with the big lead. I mean, when you're up by this many runs, you'd like to see it be a little bit easier out there on the mound.
For a lot of guys pitching with a big lead, whether spring training or the regular season, it becomes a great distraction. Then they had more pressure on themselves, saying, now I have to protect this huge lead. Wait a minute, the lights just got bigger.
And there's a liner in the center. It's going to fall in for an RBI hit. Chisenhall will score. Bourne drives in a run.
There's a little reward in place for Michael Bourne for what he did the at bat before. Now he gets a single, gets the RBI. He's on base again. And he's had 3 very good at bats. Remember, he led off the game lining out to Cole Calhoun in right field.
8-2, Angels on top. Still 2 outs here, bottom of the 4th.
The Angels bullpen should start getting busy here pretty soon as Santiago is approaching the 70 pitch mark.
There's Lindor, who drove in their run last inning. He did it with a sac fly. He steps out of the batter's box. Some of the pitchers that are here that could see action for the Angels tonight: Cam Bedrosian, also Adam Wilk, Scott Snodgrass. Here's the next pitch, and that one is a little bit outside. It is Snodgrass who's loosening up right now.
He's been very impressive so far here in camp.
Santiago's next pitch will be number 70 of the night, and it's popped in the air, shallow right center field. Giovitello, the second baseman, goes back. He's going to be called off, though, as Calhoun comes way in to make the catch in very shallow right center, and that will end the inning. So a run in the inning, couple hits for the Indians. We're headed to the 5th, 8-2 Angels on Fox Sports West. Hector Santiago for the Angels, taking a little water break there in the dugout. We'll see if his night is over. Looks like the Indians are going to make a move, and they have a new pitcher in the ball game. Anthony Swarzak will take over, former Minnesota Twin. And the Indians have made another move out in the center field. We see Tyler Holt out there, so he has replaced Michael Bourne. Check and see if the Indians have traded any other places out there defensively as we get set to move to the 5th.
I thought you had a trade in the works or something you knew something about.
No, just kind of the terminology I decided to use. Here is Iannetta. And the first pitch, that one called strike on the outside corner.
Swarzak throughout his career against the Angels, the regular season, is a giant. 1.50 ERA. Angels against him in the regular season have hit 172. And that's over 36 innings.
He was 3-2 last year, 50 games, 4 starts for Minnesota. As that one is ripped foul back to the seats down the left side. Swarzak fractured a couple of ribs last spring, and that kind of had him sidelined with the Minnesota Twins, former second-round pick of the Twins. He signed a minor league deal with the Cleveland Indians. He's trying to win a spot on their staff this spring. There's a swing and a miss by Iannetta, and he fooled him right there. Swarzak's always had a good slider.
Yeah, with a fastball right by him, up in the zone, right above the hands. Here it is. Gomes sits out away, and this ball just absolutely runs back over the plate with some zip on it.
He'll hit 96 with that fastball. Good slider, curve, and changeup he'll feature. Usually a guy that doesn't waste time out there on the mound. Pretty quick worker. So here is Giavotella, who's scored a couple of runs. He's also had a hit, a triple. That was his last time up, and he takes a ball. Gary Sands is the new right fielder replacing David Murphy. Here's the pitch. Fouled off on the left side.
It's good to see Johnny Giavotella after a good start swinging the bat here on base a couple of times. 2 runs scored. And gone are the Hunter Pence type pants. Showing to be a little superstitious with the uniform.
Here's the pitch on Giavotella, and that is a called strike.
Swarzak made a start against the Angels back in May of 2011. 8 innings. He allowed 1 hit.
One-two pitch. Thinking about chasing that one, and ending up taking it is Giavotella, and he is out looking.
If you consider how he struck out Iannetta, that fastball running, which was a little more elevated than this one, this is just a good sense of calling a pitch by Yan Gomes on what he saw from the previous strikeout. A lot of times it's not what the pitcher might be thinking, I'm finishing off a hitter, but it's about the sense and what a catcher reads once you get on the mound.
So the next batter for the Angels, taking that pitch a little bit inside, is Cowgill.
So if you take that pitch right there, for example, you can see that when Gomes calls it inside, that ball's going to be tailing in off the plate.
Swarzak with the next pitch. That's a called strike. He's had a tough spring so far for the Indians. He's given up 9 hits and 9 runs in just 4 2/3 innings. But he has struck out the first 2 he's faced so far tonight. 8-2 Angels in the 5th. There's one that's hit on the third base side. High bouncer fielded by Chisenhall. Has a good arm, and he will fire to first. And the Angels are retired for the first time. 1-2-3. Bottom of the 5th is coming up in Goodyear. The Angels on top, 8-2. Bottom of the fifth we go from Goodyear Ballpark in Goodyear, Arizona. Hector Santiago still out there for the Angels. We'll see if he's in to maybe face one hitter here. Michael Brantley will be the first batter up. He's had a couple of at-bats tonight, 1 for 2. Santiago ready to work as we start the bottom of the fifth. And here's Hector's first pitch. It's a breaking ball low. 1-0 the count.
Starts off with a breaking ball. We talk about those lanes that Santiago needs, and he says is right here and staying inside. Tonight he's been erratic. It's just way too far out. Clearly you saw it right there.
Here's the pitch. That's outside.
Terry, remember, stay in your lane. That's a reminder.
I remember saying that to my son when I was teaching him how to drive his car.
Stay in your lane. Applies to the baseball diamond too.
Yeah. Here's the pitch, and that is a strike on the outside corner.
What happens with Hector is he just loses direction. I mean, arm slot gets lost. He starts cutting the ball, starts yanking the ball, and no finish. He loses velocity, starts guiding and just floating the breaking ball. He's not as effective.
Here's the next delivery, and he tried to pick inside, maybe a little bit low, and he's fallen behind 3-1.
It's not what Mike Butcher wants to see here with a lefty-lefty matchup, and very few pitches left on Santiago now with 74.
Here's the next one, and that's hit hard but foul on the right side. We mentioned they had a few left-handed hitters in their starting lineup tonight, 4 of them, and 3 of the 4 have had hits against Hector Santiago.
That swing right there tells you how well Brantley's picking up the baseball, even though Brantley against left-handers last year was as good as he was against right-handers.
Yeah, he hits lefties well.
307 last year against lefties, 337 against righties, 327 overall.
And the next delivery, he got him looking right there and did it.
There he goes.
A good off-speed pitch.
Stay in the lane, drive through, and finish. Simple. Good job by Hector.
Yeah, that's going to be it for Hector. Angels are going to go to the bullpen, and we'll see who the Angels bring in out of that pen. Santiago talking to Mike Scioscia before leaving, and overall did a pretty good job of minimizing some damage. He had some innings where things got a little dicey against him, but for the most part got out of it. Pitching change coming up in the bottom of the fifth inning. Angels on top in Goodyear, 8-2. Is over as he ended up going 4 1/3 innings for the Angels. Gave up 6 hits, a couple earned runs, walked 2, struck out 2. And he will give way to right-hander Ryan LeConsel, who is going to pitch for the first time this spring for the Angels.
LeConsel last season played in Burlington, Midwest League. 5-4 record, very good ERA, 1.68, 34 games, all as a reliever. And in 69 2/3 innings, 16 walks and 51 strikeouts. Excellent whip of 0.99. And for Hector Santiago, I would say mixed feelings on how he went, but the best thing is, Terry, the fact that that left arm issue where he got struck apparently was not anything to worry about here tonight.
Shift is on, and the first pitch from LeConsel. That one's taken for a ball to count. 1 ball, no strikes on Carlos Santana. LeConsel is from the Chicago area and a former 20th round pick of the Angels back in 2013. This has to be a thrill for him. He's working the first time as an Angel. And here's one that's popped up foul on the third base side. Chasing over near the tarp is Freese, and he makes a nice catch on that one as he lands on top of the tarp. He never gave up on that one, Jose.
Tell you one thing about David Freese. David Freese on pop-ups takes ideal routes because he takes a good first step. Consider where he was because of the shift. Guarding against the possible bunt. He has to go back and watch this ball curve and then place his glove in the right position. Guard against that tarp. And the fans celebrating a nice play by big league third baseman. Outstanding job. He covered a lot of ground.
Good play by Freese. Second out in the inning. Batter now is Gomes.
So LeConsel says, oh, that's how those big league third basemen get it done on a shift. Okay.
Yeah.
Never gave up on the play.
Here's the pitch, and that is a fastball that misses high. LeConsel goes about 6'2", 220 pounds, went to Western Illinois University.
Only allowed 1 home run in those 69 2/3 innings last year.
Here's the pitch, and that is low and away.
Big day for the youngster. Good to see that. Many members of the family, a lot of friends will have a chance to watch this broadcast and say, we saw you and you were throwing well, so hopefully we'll have a nice finish here too.
8-2 Angels here in the bottom of the 5th, 2 outs, no one on. That one's hit well down the left field side. Chasing after it is Cowgill. Still chasing, can't make the catch. Ball takes a bounce, hits off the fence out there, and going into second base with a 2-out double is Gomes. Angels haven't been able to get him out tonight. Couple hits and a walk.
And Colin Cowgill came very close with catching this ball, and considering where he started out towards left center field, and because of his glove hand, he came very close to catching it. And he is saying, I started way out there.
Destin Hood is going to come in to pinch run for Gomes. Ryan Rayburn is going to step up to the plate. 2 outs, runner at second. And the pitch that's taken for a called strike. Rayburn so far tonight, a walk and a ground out.
See Chris Iannetta going here on taps with his body, with his man at second base.
Angels have a shift on with all the infielders, the middle infielders playing on the left side. Giavatella and Ibar.
Watch Chris Iannetta here. Watch this. Is he swing and miss, and that all was dictated by taps. Here we go once again. He's going chest, both shoulders, no sign. The combination is done.
2 strikes to count on Rayburn. There's a swing and a miss. He got him. Boy, that pitch had some good movement, low and away. Struck him out.
That's a great finish or a breaking ball. Tight, hard spin.
That will end the inning. So the Indians off the scoreboard in the 5th. We're headed to the 6th inning. Angels on top, 8-2. Number of changes for the Indians as we get set to move to the 6th inning. Angels are up 8-2. 8 runs, 11 hits for the Angels. And the Indians have had 2 runs, a total of 7 hits tonight. New pitcher is Jeff Manship. He spent a little time with the Phillies last year. He has a new catcher to work with, Brett Hayes. Jesus Aguilar is the new first baseman. They have Destin Hood playing in left field. So we're set to start the 6th, and the first pitch, Cole Calhoun chops that one foul. This is Calhoun's 4th and likely final at bat of the night. We'll see.
They're back on I-10. Lead the way.
Traffic should be a little bit better heading east at around 9 o'clock this evening than it was heading west at about 3 o'clock this afternoon. Here's the pitch.
As expected.
Yeah. It's a check swing, a pitch in there for a strike. Here's the next pitch, and that is a little bit low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Manship is a veteran. He's another guy trying to win a spot with the Indians this spring. This is his 5th appearance. He's had a good spring for them. As that pitch is low, he's had 5 shutout innings. Cole Calhoun's had a 1-for-3 night with a double. The Angels have led this game since the 2nd inning and are up by 6 right now. The pitch a little bit low. So full count. We'll see what happens on the payoff delivery to Cole Calhoun. Trout is waiting on deck. Here it comes, and that one is just tipped foul. He stays alive.
The Angels, outstanding job all the way around against Trevor Bauer. They made his life impossible. Anything he threw out there, guys were on every pitch. They laid off some tough pitches. Chris Iannetta, big blow for him. A 2-run home run. The Angels 4 triples against Bauer in the 3rd inning. Ibar, Crown, Giavotella, and Calgill.
Here's the next one, and that is a called 3rd strike.
There's no doubt. That was a big late breaking bender.
Yep. Well, Calhoun was hoping against hope he would get a walk out of that one, but he knew it. So he is out looking, and that's the first out here in the 6th inning. The Indians pitchers have racked up some strikeouts in this ball game. They have 7 already. Here's Trout, who's had 1 hit tonight. He's also scored a run, driven in a run, and he takes that one for a ball. Manship is replacing Swarzak, who had a 1-2-3 inning against the Angels in the 5th with a pair of strikeouts.
It's nothing new, even in spring training.
He's had good success. Speaking of Swarzak, no matter if he's worn an Indians uniform or a Twins uniform.
I'll tell you who hasn't had a lot of success so far this spring for the Indians is the reigning American League Cy Young Award winner, Corey Kluber. But you don't worry too much about guys like that. Kluber has an ERA over 5. And he says it's about location, command, and things that he's still trying to figure out here in spring training. Of course, in limited action, he's only thrown 7 innings.
Yeah, he's had only 2 starts for them. He's going to make another start on Sunday. It's a game against the Dodgers. There's one fouled off on the right side by Trout as he stays alive.
There's been some talk about Kluber and the Indians perhaps trying to negotiate a long-term deal. Something that obviously could make sense for both parties, as the Indians have done, and we were talking about earlier in the broadcast.
Here's the pitch to Trout, and that one is fouled right into the Angels dugout, so he's battling here with the count 1-2. Right now, Kluber is scheduled to make a little less than $100,000 over the league minimum.
He signed a deal for $601,000.
Right. But not a whole lot of bargaining position at this stage of his career, and that's what happens to young players.
Well, that salary could go up even if he comes to an agreement this spring. You break that one and start a new one.
Right. Here's Trout taking low. So Mike has worked a full count here against Manship.
Tyler Holt could not be any deeper in center field.
Plays a lot deeper than Bourne was playing.
He's playing no doubles here.
Here's one foul back. Well, maybe no triples the way the night's been going.
No kidding.
In case you missed it, the Angels had 4 triples in the 3rd inning tonight, and it came during a string of 5 batters. 4 of the 5 had triples. Ivar, Crone, Giavotella, and Calgill. And here's Trout lining one out of the reach of the third baseman Chisenhall for his 2nd hit of the night. He'll make a turn and hold at first base with a 1-out single.
That makes Mike Trout now 15 for 29 this spring.
Right.
Fastball coming in, and the barrel drops immediately with that quickness through the zone. That plate discipline showing again. Fastballs, allowing the fastballs to be below the hands. So far it's paid off nicely for Mike Trout.
Angels' 12th hit of the night. Here's Albert. He's trying to get in the act. He's gone 0 for 3, and he takes that one high. Albert at his first home run of the spring against the Dodgers. He's been healthy this spring. He's looked good at the plate. Here's the pitch, and that's outside as Manship tried to nibble on the corner. Angels have had a 4-run inning, a 3-run inning. Scored 1 in the 4th. And the speedy Trout on at first base, went away here in the 6th, up 8-2, and the pitch. Hop back foul behind the plate. It's back and out of play.
This is where I got to just put a stoplight, red light on Mike Trout. There's no need to risk anything right now in terms of stolen base or attempt at stolen base. You have this lead, spring training. He feels good.
Here's the next pitch, and Albert fooled it that one, waves at it and misses that off-speed pitch. Earlier in the day, the Angels reassigned 6 players to minor league camp. A couple of catchers, Jet Bandy, Charles Cutler, infielders Sherman Johnson, Alex Yarborough, Ryan Wheeler, and pitcher Alex Sanabia. Here's the next one on Pujols, fouled it off again, right side, backing out of play.
Of course, doesn't mean it's the end of those guys. We'll see him again here in camp again. Just under different rules now that they have been reassigned. Those guys are still eligible to come up and play some games. Alex Yarborough, Terry, has been taking some ground balls now at third base too. Mike Socha has been directing some of the drills with him, left side of the infield.
There's a swing and a miss, and Albert fooled as Manship took something off that pitch there, struck him out.
He's got a good one. He showed Cole Calhoun the spin, late breaker, and on Pujols he actually takes something off of it by a tighter grip, ball deeper in his hand, and the same type of effect breaking downward.
David Freese will bat. 2 outs. Trout still at first. First one on Freese. That is outside. Infield is backed up with 2 outs for the Indians. The next pitch on Freese. That one is low and outside. David Freese got involved in a strength and conditioning program following last season, adding some muscle and losing some fat. There's a pitch on the outside corner. 2-1 the count.
Flexibility Terry has shown from day one of spring training, and how he's been hitting the ball and how he has been moving around the third base area.
There's one a little bit low. He also had the left ankle surgery after last season, so
They call it something minor, but he goes, you know what? It's one of those things that you can call it minor, and you get to spring training and start moving around, and before you know it, you have to stop. But that has not been the case. This guy's a gamer, man. He gets after it.
There goes Trout on the move. Pitch lifted in the air, hit well into right field. Sands is going back. That ball is high off the wall. In play. Trout is going to score on it as the throw went to second. And coming all the way in from first base is Trout without a throw. The Angels add on. It's 9-2. Trout was trucking around the bases.
That's when you know that you are in scoring position with Mike Trout when he's at first base, and so many other fast runners too. And this ball was a laser out to the wall. No need to chance it for David Freese. Remember, he already got thrown out at third base trying to tag. Perfect throw to second base. Mike Trout leaves everybody behind.
So it brings up Ibar. Angels with a 7-run lead here in the 6th. Ibar hits one down the left field side. Hood is chasing down in that left field corner, and he's going to run out of room. He gave it a good try there, trying to nab that one along that side wall. There's not a whole lot of distance between the side wall and the foul line down that left field side, and he hit into that wall pretty hard.
So Terry, look at your scoreboard, and you see Mike Trout scoring from first base on a
single. Yeah. First, there were 2 outs, so anything.
And of course, you know, the ball was not just a roller to the outfield. The ball was, it looked like an extra base hit. So it's one of those things you put your head down and go, wait a minute, he's scoring a single from first base. He got contact. Yeah. Head down, he knows where the ball is. The outs. Off the bat. Suave.
Next one on Ibar. This is fouled off again on the left side, backing out of play. And Chip has given up a couple of hits and a run here in this inning. Angels have scored in 4 of the last 5 innings in this ball game and have the healthy lead. Here's the next delivery. And that is cut on and missed, and Manship ends up striking out the side. The Angels have had some good at-bats, and also there have been 9 that have struck out. We're headed to the bottom of the 6th inning, 9-2 Halos. Number 3 of the night, Scott Snodgrass, will take over. So he replaces Brian LeCouncil, who did a pretty good job coming in for Santiago last inning. For Snodgrass, the new Angel lefty, he gets ready to see action for the 4th time this spring, and his numbers have been good. 4 1/3 innings. He's allowed 3 hits, no runs. Hasn't walked, and he struck out 3.
He's done a good job throwing strikes downhill all the way for this kid who the Angels have been keeping a close eye on since his first bullpen that he threw here in spring training. He's got a lot of life. All really tails, it cuts. And the Angels seem to have found somebody that they can work with and develop. Key thing for me, Terry, is in that 4 1/3 innings, 0 walks. He's helped his cause.
Batter is Jerry Sands, who was with the Rays for a little bit last season. This is his first at bat tonight. Snodgrass pitched a little bit, just briefly, for the White Sox last year, and the lefty's first delivery. That's in there for a strike. He's a big left-hander, 6'6", non-roster invitee. Former 5th-round pick of the White Sox from Ukaipa. And played some college baseball at Stanford, Scott Snodgrass. He is the only new player out on the field right now for the Angels, and there's a swing and a miss. So the count jumps to 0-2 on Sands.
Even at Stanford, mostly a reliever. He did make a few starts for the Cardinal.
Sands has had a good spring for Cleveland, and he swings at that one, fouls it off on the right side.
Snodgrass started his season last year in Double-A Birmingham as a starting pitcher. 21 games, 21 starts, 122 2/3 innings. Got moved up to Triple-A. 8 games, all as a reliever, and then 4 appearances in relief for the White Sox in the big leagues. So Terry, he's a guy that making a transition. But a guy also that Mike Scioscia is not afraid and has used here in to get more than 3 outs here in spring training because of his background as a starting pitcher.
He's in front of ball and 2 strikes here on Sands. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Angels up 9-2, and the pitch, and it's hit well into center field. Trout is out there chasing. He's out by the wall, and he'll make the catch right near the wall in right center. Trout never gave up on that one. He looked over at Cole Calhoun and kind of said, wow, I didn't have a whole lot of room there.
It's hard contact, good extension there by Jerry Sands, who has some power into those gaps, and a nice route by Mike Trout, who was shaded to pull just slightly, but knows here in this ballpark he has plenty of room to get by. Extends. In fact, he might have jumped a little early there, but he makes a catch, and the Angels fans, many of them here on the left side of the stadium, are celebrating and having a good time with this display of ability.
Chisenhall, the batter now. This is a lefty-lefty matchup, and the first pitch to Chisenhall, he was taking it to ball.
You go right back in their inner half.
Next pitch. This is popped in the air down the left side. A foul ball. Long run over there, and running out of room is Calgary. He's had to do some sprinting over there tonight in left field.
Plus the triple. He's had his conditioning well covered here tonight. Colin Calgo. In fact, Eric Ibar's asking him if he's okay. You can see Calgo said, go ahead, I'm fine. Little gassed.
Yep. 1 ball, 1 strike here on Chisenhall. Next delivery, and that is a little bit low. 2-1.
You just know they have Cesar Ramos slated to be the guaranteed left-hander out of that bullpen, but they're taking a good look at Snodgrass. Also, Adam Wilk continues to get a lot of looks for the Angels here.
He's here tonight.
And he's here.
Yeah, might see him. There's a pitch that's missed by Chisenhall.
Wilk has not allowed a run in 5 1/3 innings, and he has struck out 6 and has issued only 1 walk.
Two pitch. Late swing by Chisenhall, fouls it to the screen.
There's one thing about Snodgrass that Mike Butcher is pointing out to me, is the fact that he is all base on fastball. Doesn't try to get too pretty. He can move it in and out, but mainly, even with that size, he has the ability with his arm slot to really work down in the zone, which is a plus against anybody in that batter's box on either side.
2-2. Fastball missed outside, not by much. Full count. Chisenhall, 26 years old. Payoff delivery, and he walks him. Pitch was high on the former Indians first round pick, Lonnie Chisenhall. So he has a 1-out walk. Martinez will be the next batter. Had a double and 2 times up, and now looks like Ryan Rollinger is going to come in and pinch run. So Chisenhall's night is done. He went 1 for 2 this evening. Here's the pitch on Martinez. Bounced off of the pitcher Snodgrass, and then the ball caroms over to Freese, and he'll just hold on to it. It's going to be an infield hit. Got Snodgrass, it looked like down around the leg or the foot. They're going to check him out just to make sure he's okay.
It got him pretty good. And one of the disadvantages of course, being tall and having balls like that hit right back at you is that with the reaction time, you're not going to have a lot of time to get down and field something. But you can see right here, looks like it got him on his right foot. It seems like he had a little give on it once the ball was approaching. Oh no, it got him square right above that foot.
He's taking a few warm-up tosses to convince everyone that he's okay.
So being his landing foot, wouldn't see any give on him there, or hesitation on the way he lands to finish out his delivery.
So the batter now will be Holt. This is his first time up. He replaced Michael Bourne in the outfield, and he's hitting out of his spot, the leadoff spot. Right-handed batter Holt stepping up. He was in 36 games last year for Cleveland, and he swings at this pitch and hits him on high in the air to right field. Hit pretty deep, but playable. Making the catch will be Cole Calhoun, and the pinch runner is going to tag at second and move over to third base.
Things we admire about Cole Calhoun are things like this too, just playing the game right. Calhoun got behind the baseball. He knew he was not going to get anybody out, but Rojo goes out there. He's under the ball, gets behind the ball. Sandy Alomar, the first base coach, is telling his runner, no need to tag, and Calhoun threw a strike to second base.
Lindor is the batter now with runners at the corners. 2 outs, 6th inning, 9-2 Angels, and there's one low. Snodgrass is ready. Trying to get the final out here, and the pitch a little bit outside.
Lindor tags as a guy that they think is going to be a good player for a long time. Also have a good young shortstop who plays a lot of second base, and Eric Gonzalez also in camp.
It's a pitch that was in on Lindor. It's now 3-0.
And the shortstop that's slated to open the season for them is Ramirez.
Jose Ramirez, who came on last year. Took over for Asdrubal Cabrera last season.
And a good spring. Ramirez hitting over 300. And has not committed an error.
Here's the next pitch. And that is in there for a called strike.
As you mentioned, Asdrubal Cabrera, who will now be playing second base. He played a lot of second base after the trade, in fact, to the Nationals. He's now with the Tampa Bay Rays, but another guy that was pretty much established shortstop, Terry, in Yunel Escobar, who got traded twice. He got traded to Oakland, then got traded to the Nationals, now to be a second baseman. Zach Stewart in the Angels bullpen, right-hander.
Snodgrass getting ready for his 20th pitch in the inning, and this one is bounced right to short. Should end the inning. Ibar's throw is in time as he retires Lindor, and that's it for the Indians here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Angels are on top as we head to the 7th. It's 9-2 Halos on Fox Sports West. And it was triples galore.
Eric Ibar gets it going. Then C.J. Cron thought he had a home run, but ends up at third base. Johnny Giovatello just misses a home run. Also ends up in third base. And then Colin Cowgill, number 9 hitter, goes to right center field saying, I am not stopping. That is another 3-bagger and much reason to celebrate for the leader of the pack.
Angels 5, 6, 8, and 9 hitters, all with triples in that same inning, the top of the 3rd.
Good to see Eric Ibar leave the ballgame with a couple of hits, 2 for 4. Ibar came into the game hitting .231 here in spring.
C.J. Cron will lead it off. This will be his 4th at bat of the night, and there's a new pitcher in the ballgame, Austin Adams, who pitched at AAA Columbus last year in the Indians organization. So he is their 5th pitcher of the night, replaces Manship. Right-handed pitcher on the mound for the Indians, and the first one on Cron. He takes it for ball 1. You have a new third baseman, Ryan Rollinger, who came into pinch run, has stayed in the game. He came in to run for Chisenhall, who replaces him at third base as well. Here's the pitch. Nubbed off the end of the bat, a foul ball on the right side. Looks like Taylor Featherston is waiting on deck to pinch hit. Will be batting for Chris Iannetta, it would appear. Adams is ready, and the right-hander's next pitch. Bat is broken. The ball's popped into shallow right center. It's going to fall in. That's another hit for Cron. So Cron now, that probably will be his last at bat. We'll see. But Cron with a single, double, and triple in this game.
That one died a hero. Gotta love those types of bats right there. Gonna go away. You know what? You're gonna break. I'm gonna hit off the label. Give me a base hit at least.
That was
in 3 pieces.
Yeah, that bat was breaking all over the place. But he got a hit. And the hits have been plentiful tonight for the Angels. Looks like 14 of them at this stage of the game. We're in the 7th inning. The Angels up 9-2. Featherston trying to get into the act, his first at bat, and that one is fouled off the catcher Brett Hayes.
This kid has really impressed a lot of people, not just around the Angels organization. I mean, talking to some of the scouts and opposing managers and coaches here in camp, I think the Angels have found something that could really be of help. Good young player, hungry player, gamer, gets dirty, and hopefully he will make an easy transition and bring his game to the next level.
Pitch on its way. Takes that one for a called strike.
Again, no guarantees yet, but everything we've seen from Taylor Featherston has been a plus.
Hit 292 this spring. 6 runs batted in.
He's a proud TCU alumni.
Next delivery. He went after that one and taps it softly towards short. They go to second for one. That'll be the only out. No chance for a relay. So Crone is forced out on the 6-4 fielder's choice. First out here in the 7th. The attendance tonight here in Goodyear, 10,511. 10511.
Baseball fever live, and a lot of the Angels fans that actually are here just are on their way into town, but said, why not stop here first off the I-10 west of Phoenix, watch the Angels, and then head on to the Phoenix area to see more games the rest of the weekend.
Angels will have
Terry,
a game tomorrow.
This game was properly placed for the Angels fans.
Angels have Drew Butera waiting on deck as Giovitella works here against Adams. There's a toss over to first base. Diving back to the bag goes Featherston, who reached on the fielder's choice. Well, you look at that hat of Adams, who's on the mound, his baseball cap, and it's hard to believe that it's looking that way and it's just spring training. Well, maybe he used that one last year.
Well, spring training, there's a lot of running to it.
Here's a ball. It's hit well into left center field. The outfielders are in pursuit. They're not going to get to it. That's been the way it's gone all night long. The Angels are going to score another run, and stopping at second base is Giovitella, who's had a nice night. He's had a double and a triple, scored a couple runs. Angels add on. It's 10-2.
Johnny Giovitella has cut down his swing, and Don Baylor just wanted him to go out there and be the type of hitter with the same approach. It's made him a .305 career hitter in the minor leagues. And Jared DePoto, the Angels general manager, has called him a sensational performer in the minor leagues, that if he brings the game to the big leagues, could be a contributor. He is out of options. The Angels know he has made more starts than any of the candidates at second base. And he's helping his game, making another start here tonight and taking advantage of it.
So the batter is Drew Butera. He is hitting out of Cowgill's spot. Cowgill had a 2-hit night. He was 2 for 3. Butera figures to stay in the ball game behind the plate as well, with Iannetta being lifted for a pinch hitter. Featherston in this inning. Angels have an 8-run lead, and the next pitch popped high in the air out near second base. The shortstop Lindor is under. He'll put that one away, and that'll be the second out. Easy play. Looks like Efren Navarro is going to bat here for Cole Calhoun. So Calhoun ended up going 1 for 4 with a run batted in this evening. Navarro's spring pretty good. He's gone 10 for 26 with 3 runs batted in, trying to make that opening day roster. Two outs, runner at second, Giovitella. First one on Navarro, right in there for a called strike. Kyle Kibitza is on the on-deck circle. Cam Bedrosian is warming up now in the Angels bullpen. Here's the next pitch, and that's cut on and missed. The Angels have never trailed, and now have their biggest lead of the night, up by 8, 10-2 here in the 7th. Navarro tips that one foul right by the plate.
Navarro not known for his power, but in batting practice, in his thin air, Navarro hit a ball up on top of this deck right here. BP or not, Terry, that's a shot.
That's a pretty good poke.
For a guy that doesn't pull the ball that often, even in batting practice.
Goes 345 to the wall down there in right field. And that obviously was hit a lot further than that. Here's the next delivery. That's low.
I'll keep an eye on Navarro fighting for a spot on the roster. Versatility he shows. He's played some right field, left field, first base. Most of the Angels know that a guy like Mark Krause, who's hitting .467, is making a push also to make the Angels think about his bat.
1-2 on Navarro. Little poke behind second. This one might drop in. It will, and it's going to mean another run. A little flare into shallow center field. Navarro brings in Giavotella. Now it's 11-2 Angels.
There you have it, Terry. See, BP he hit about .475. This one goes about 180 feet and with better effect because this one counts. It's the RBI, gets a hit, and Navarro continues to raise his average. He's now 11 for 27.
So here is Kyle Kubica. He's batting for Mike Trout.
You said Mark Gupta. Huh?
Kyle Kubica. Close.
Oh, Gupta's right here.
Yeah. There's one that's low.
He's warming up for Angels Live, by the way.
I think Kyle Kubica is one of Mark Gupta's favorite new players now.
No doubt. The ZA does it.
Young man who the Angels got from the Atlanta Braves in the offseason. And here's the pitch on the left-handed batter. He takes that one low. He's had a pretty good spring for the Angels.
Yeah, Kubica's brought his game up, hitting .300. We've seen a lot of action. And was advertised about him, Terry's the fact that he takes a lot of pitches and he does work counts. Takes his walks.
There's a pitch low. He's batting .300 this spring as a home run. Adams is struggling here. The Angels have had 3 hits and a couple runs against him. The lead just keeps growing here tonight. In Goodyear, it's 11-2 in favor of the Angels. Here's the next one, and that's on the outside corner. Like Trout went 2 for 3 tonight with a run batted in. Kubica's hitting in his spot and fouls that one back to the screen. Grant Green picks it up. He's waiting on deck. If he bats here in this inning with 2 outs, it would be his first time up. He'll hit for Albert Pujols either in this inning or in the 8th. Albert was 0 for 4. Runner goes, pitch fouled back, and it's 3 balls, 2 strikes on Kubica.
There's another at bat where Kubica is working counts. They're making that pitcher work a little bit more. I just think this could have a future at third base for the organization. That's what they traded for him.
Another payoff delivery and another fouled pitch by Kubica.
Kubica is a college teammate of Paul Goldschmidt. There's some good company for you. The outstanding Arizona Diamondback first baseman.
Well, if he could develop like Goldschmidt, then the Angels have quite a find. Here's the runner going again, and there's a base hit right up the middle. Heading for third base is Navarro. He'll get there without a throw. And another hit for the Angels. Runners at the corners.
Another Angel that is not an everyday player that's hitting over 300. Kubica works accounts, gets something he can handle in a big part of the field. With all the pitches he saw, he also saw, of course, and was able to time spin, velocity, and everything else in terms of squaring and fixing his swing to hit it right through the box.
Grant Green will be the batter. Adams, who's pitching here for the Indians, is in his 5th game this spring, and he had worked 4 innings, giving up 4 hits and a couple runs. The Angels have had 4 hits and 2 runs against him here in this inning. Right-hander against right-hander. Pitch on Grant Green. Called strike. Green's hitting a little bit over 300 this spring.
Well, Mike Socha, as well as things have gone here tonight, has been able to get 4 at-bats from the first to the 6th spot in the order with his regulars.
Here's the next one, and that's fouled back to the screen. 0-2 on Grant Green.
At least 4 plate appearances, which is, of course, they will count more and more as spring progresses, and as your eyes get readjusted to playing under the lights. No problems for the Angels tonight.
Mark Krause is waiting on deck. He would be batting for Freeze. Here's the next pitch, and that's way up and in for a ball.
Never had a fan recently reach out on Twitter. Says every time he sees Mark Krause, number 39, he thinks of Rod Quinlan.
Well, same.
Where's
number.
the Q?
Yeah, but physically resembles Trumbo. We've talked about that before, even though he's a left-handed batter. Here's one hit high in the air into right field. Sands is out there. He's going to make the catch, and that's how the inning will end. But the Angels add on 2 more runs here in the inning, and as we head to the 7th inning stretch, it's 11-2 Angels on Fox Sports West. Angels have made a lot of changes, and we'll run them down for you here as we get ready to move to the bottom of the 7th. The new pitcher is Cam Bedrosian. He is loosening up with his new catcher, Drew Butera. There's a new shortstop, Taylor Featherston, new third baseman, Kyle Kubica, and the outfield has a whole new look. In left field is Mark Krause. The center fielder is Daniel Robertson, and in right field, Efren Navarro. The only 2 starters who remain in the game. Crone still at first base, and Giavotella, who is playing second. So we're ready to get things going here. Brett Hayes is going to lead it off for Cleveland, as Bedrosian is ready to work. Hayes batting out a Brantley spot, and the first delivery, it's taken for ball 1.
Very important tonight for Cam Bedrosian. Bring your game, especially the fastball. Use command, work down to the zone, and finish off those breaking balls. He has thrown some dandies his last 3 outings.
Next pitch, that's a fastball that misses high. Bedrosian this spring, this is his 5th appearance, giving up 3 runs in 4 1/3 innings.
A little shaky first outing, but since then, a much more relaxed, staying over the rubber, driving down. An explosive fastball.
There's a pitch that is called strike on the outside corner. Brett Hayes, a veteran player. He's out of options. moved around in his career. Usually a pretty good defensive catcher. Here's the next pitch. This one is poked into center. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Robertson will play it back to the infield. Hayes is on a leadoff single here against Bedrosian to start off the bottom of the 7th inning.
It's part of what Cam Bedrosian has gone through in his growing pains as a big leaguer, even though here in spring training with a big league uniform is at times where he could really have the hitter expand his zone a little bit more. He is missing sometimes too much over the plate.
Here's the pitch, and that one taken for a ball.
Jesus Aguilar, big time power in AAA last year.
Right-hander against right-hander, and the next delivery, that's a called strike. Aguilar is hitting out of Santana's spot. Carlos Santana went 1 for 3 for Cleveland.
Aguilar 19 home runs last year, 77 RBIs.
Here's the next pitch, and that one high for a ball. Bedrosian is replacing Snodgrass, who worked the bottom of the 6th inning, and in his scoreless inning he gave up a hit. Also walked the batter. Bedrosian is the 4th pitcher of the night for the Angels. Here's the next delivery, and it's lifted in the air into right center field. Easy play for Robertson, who's circling under. He'll one-hand it. And that'll be the first out. Kids, don't forget the Junior Angels Kids Club is now accepting members for the upcoming 2015 season. Members receive 4 ticket vouchers as well as exclusive gifts, including a t-shirt, bracelet, socks, and more. Remember that if you're a member, you'll also receive access to the front of the line for Kids Run the Bases. Sign up today at angels.com/juniorangels. That might be a junior angel right there.
Already is. Enjoying his halos here tonight. 11 runs and 17 hits.
Hood at the plate. Destin Hood. Hit close to 300 in the minors last year. Right-handed batter. He's hitting out a Gomes spot. The Angels didn't retire Yan Gomes tonight. He was 2 for 2 with a walk. You look at the bullpen people for the Angels so far. The Consul, Snodgrass, and Bedrosian. There's one that's in there for called strike, and even a couple more relievers will likely pitch for the Angels in the 8th and 9th innings, and all of them are kind of borderline as far as making the Angels opening day roster.
Yeah, all of them are getting a chance to be seen here tonight.
That's right. Here's the pitch. That's high and outside.
And all of them have survived the first 3 cuts, Terry, which is the main thing.
Yep. Could see Adam Wilk pitch maybe the 8th or 9th. Zach Stewart's been warming up. Could see him. He's had some major league experience in the past. Wilk has as well, briefly with Detroit. Here's the next delivery, and that is cut on and missed, and the count is now 2-2.
It's a good pitch right there by Cam Bedrosian. There's a finish downward. Nice call there by the catcher, Butera.
Good slider right there.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be a strikeout pitch. I mean, if you can incorporate more of that against experienced hitters at any count, better off everything else is going to be. Sometimes we make mistakes. He's going to be able to get away with them.
Here's one that's fouled back to the screen, so Hood stays alive.
Cam Bedrosian has to battle some early injuries in his professional career. Allowed to overcome. Well built. Angels first rounder. Things did not come easy for him. Even to the point of just having success in the minor leagues, that didn't come easy for him.
He's had the Tommy John elbow surgery. Here's a bouncer back to the mound. He thought about going to second, but takes the shore out over there at first. And easily gets Hood. So 1-3 on that one. Bounce back near the mound. Runner moves up to second base. Hayes with 2 outs.
It's one of those plays where it could have gotten ugly. If he gets rattled and doesn't hold his composure, just tries to rush and make more out of that play than there was in front of him. But good for Cam to get his feet under him, looked at second base, thought about it. Who knows where that ball might have ended up if he throws to second base, but settles and throws a strike to first base.
So here is Rayburn set to bat. He's gone all the way as their DH tonight. He's 0 for 2 with a walk, and he takes the first pitch up and in. You mentioned Bedrosian, Jose, and of course having to battle some adversity. And when the Angels first drafted him, and you mentioned first-round pick back in 2010, the Angels looked at him as a starter. But then after he suffered the elbow injury, the course has kind of changed for him as a reliever, and he seems to agree with that. He's had a lot more success out of the bullpen, at least in the minors, than he had when he was starting prior to the injury.
Well, a lot of it is just the durability and how guys lose their mechanics and then get out of sync. And those losing mechanics, getting out of sync, leads to dropping the elbow, overcompensating one part of the body with the other, and the injuries come. He draws parallels, Terry, to Corey Rasmus, who was a starting pitcher for so many years in the Atlanta Braves system. Became a reliever, and right now a very dependable reliever for the Angels.
Next one on Rayburn, and he takes it on a 3-0. It's in there for strike 3-1.
Rasmus, game over for Scott Downs, who we mentioned earlier in the broadcast.
So we'll see if Bedrosian can battle back from 3-0 here against Rayburn, and he gets in the swing at that one and misses it, so it's a full count.
The fastball run very well, lots of life, and nice tailing away.
Next pitch will be Bedrosian's 20th of the inning.
Here's where you try less.
3-2, fouled back, right side out of play.
Trying less means if you throw 96, you can't try to throw 99. For the same reason, ball flattens out. You drop your arm, ball looks bigger to the hitter, everything slows down. Trying less just means keep it simple for the fastball or the breaking ball. Try to make that breaking ball better than you have thrown it.
Again, the payoff, and that freezes him and struck him out looking.
Just like that. Nice and easy. Simple, let it roll, and that's a strikeout.
So Bedrosian, he took care of business there with the strikeout against Rayburn, froze him, and that'll do it for the Indians. We're headed to the 8th inning in Goodyear. Angels are on top 11-2. Angels have out hit the Indians 17-9 tonight. And there's another new pitcher for the Cleveland Indians. His name is Kyle Crockett. He had a nice year for the Indians a year ago. 4-1 record. ERA was 1.80. Appeared in 43 games.
You got to look here in spring training, Terry. And your counterpart, Terry Francona, liked what he saw from this youngster who was not afraid. He can really bring it and has a nice, interesting movement on his pitches. And a bit of a slinger. Always works from the windup.
So the lefty is ready, and Crockett's pitch. That one is taken by Kraus, and it's ball one. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
You see right there with that delivery, that ball gets on you very quickly.
Kraus is batting out of Freese's spot. Freese went 2 for 4, drove in a run. There's another pitch taken for ball 2. It's 2 balls, no strikes.
Last season with the Astros, hit only 194, 6 home runs. And so far for the Angels here in camp, 467 average with 1 home run.
Here's the next pitch. That's inside on Kraus, who moves off the plate. So the lefty-lefty matchup right now favoring Kraus. He's worked a 3-0 count. Hope you're enjoying the action tonight. You gotta be. It's 11-2 in favor of the Angels here in the 8th inning. Terry Smith and Jose Mota with you from Goodyear Ballpark.
If you're an Angels fan, yes.
Oh.
If you're an Indians fan, you're not enjoying this.
Pitch was taken for ball 4, and it's a leadoff walk. The Angels have had people on pretty much all night, and now they think maybe Crockett might have hurt himself.
We talk about the Angels fans being happy about this one so far. Also a tough outing once again for Trevor Bauer, who come into this game having allowed 4 home runs in 12 innings. And the Indians showing some concern as we take a look at Crockett here.
We're talking to Crockett. He's a very skinny guy. Very slender legs. He's got a big smile on his face now. Whatever Terry Francona said to him, and it made him laugh. But he's going to have to leave the ballgame. So he ends up facing only 1 batter and walks that batter and leaves because of an injury. So we have a new pitcher who will be coming in for Cleveland. A break in the action, pitching change in the 8th. It's 11-2 Angels. New pitcher for the Indians is Dustin Mulliken, as he will take over, and he replaces Crockett, who leaves because of an injury. He faced just the one batter in Walker Rouse. Mulliken last year pitched at AAA Nashville, where he had a 5-2 record in 54 games. ERA was 4.86, and as far as his action with the Indians, this will be his 5th game this spring. He's given up 1 earned run in 4 innings of work, and he will get a little extra time here to get loose as he comes in to replace Crockett as a result of that injury. Crockett seemed to be in good spirits when he left the mound. He was smiling. Terry Francona said something that made him chuckle. But
yeah, it was more like Terry Francona kind of convincing the youngster to say, don't try to be a hero here. Let me just use my experience to tell you to go out there and be well and not hurt your chances for any longer here with us for this season.
Terry Francona has been well received in Cleveland, and rightfully so. He's done a good job since taking over. Of course, he was a manager who had a great deal of success when he led the Red Sox to World Series titles in 2004 and again in 2007. And he's done a good job with the Cleveland Indians. Mentioned earlier, back-to-back winning seasons. Indians trying to get back in the postseason. They're a team that actually lost to Terry Francona's Red Sox in the 2007 American League Championship Series, and that one went down to 7 games.
Yes, it did.
Indians that year won 96 games, which tied for the best record in the majors with the Red Sox. And then, as I mentioned, they faced the Red Sox in the ALCS and lost, and Boston went on to play in the World Series and win that World Series.
I recall when the Angels got Orlando Cabrera, who had come from Boston as a world champion and played a couple of months for Terry Francona, and Cabrera gets to the Angels camp and says, they asked him, how about comparisons between Francona and Mike Scioscia in the camps? And Orlando Cabrera candidly said, with Boston and Francona, we didn't have any signs. Here I have to learn like 8 different sets of signs, including bunt defense and things like that.
Daniel Robertson is going to be the first batter for the Angels against this new pitcher, and the first delivery, that's a pitch that misses for ball 1. This is Robertson's first at bat. He is hitting out an I-bar spot, and Eric had a 2-hit night, drove in a run, and also scored a run. Here's the pitch. Lifted in the air to center field. It's hanging up for Holt, the center fielder, and he will put that one away. Krause stays at first base. First out here in the 8th inning. C.J. Cron will be the batter, and he has a chance to hit for the cycle tonight.
He's getting a lot of ABs. He's getting a lot of reps. 5th plate appearance. That's something you don't see very often in any spring training game.
And he's made the most of those appearances with a single, double, triple, scored 2.
And his only out was a ball that was about 405 feet to dead center field.
Yeah, came close to hitting it out. Here's the pitch, low and away. 1 ball, no strikes.
Angels hoping that this young man can be a force consistently in the middle of that lineup for this season and for the remainder of his career.
Here's the pitch, and he takes that fastball that's in there for a called strike. Cone has very good power. He's a big guy. Mulliken is ready, and the next pitch, and that is a breaking ball that misses low. Crowd is kind of thinned out a little bit, over 10,000 here when we got started. Next delivery, cut on, fouled off, out of play on the right side.
Earlier we were talking about the Cleveland Indians, and now they have signed some young players to lock them up, buy out some arbitration years, and that's exactly what the White Sox did today with Adam Eaton. who hit 300 for them last year, played a sensational center field. They locked him up for 5 years. White Sox did the same thing not long ago with Jose Quintana.
Yeah, White Sox look like they're going to be better this year.
They made some good additions.
There's a pitch foul back. They were active, and they needed to be. They've had a couple of tough years back to back. Crowds have been dropping. Attendance has been lower for the White Sox. So you got to convince the fans to come back out to the ballpark.
They got that closer. They got Samardzija. They got Melky Cabrera. They got Adam LaRoche. Just pretty solid core right there.
There's a little bloop down the right field side, tight to the line, but it's going to drop foul.
Captain Konerko no longer there. And the White Sox and the Indians will be seeing each other a lot.
White Sox set a franchise record back in 2006. That was the year after they won the World Series. Franchise record for attendance. They drew just a little under 3 million. And then last year their attendance, Jose, was 1.6 million. So you can see how it's dropped off.
Yep.
Here's the pitch. That's fouled back to the screen here. Good thing I had a big high screen behind home plate. That might have come right in our booth.
We're ready.
I know you and Gooby are here to protect me, though.
We're ready to run away and let you catch it.
I don't think so.
The youngster was ready to catch it, though.
So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes on Crone. Next pitch. He got him on strike. Swings and misses that one. Crone fooled on that one. They haven't gotten him out often tonight.
Well, that's the worst swing he's taken. I'm not going to say it was a bad swing. He just got beat by a good pitch. I'll take that swing anytime.
That is the 10th strikeout for the Indians, but along the way, the Angels have had 17 hits and 11 runs. So 2 are gone. This is Featherston batting, and he takes that one, a fastball called strike. Featherston's been up once since entering the ball game, reached on a fielder's choice, scored a run. That was last inning. Next delivery, fouled off right side, backing out of play.
News concerning the Angels and Josh Hamilton. New commissioner Rob Manfred said today he hopes to reach a resolution regarding the Angels' Josh Hamilton's status by opening day. And he says, I quote him, with Josh recovering from surgery, it has allowed the luxury of some time in the process, said Manfred. So
here's the next delivery. It's high.
We shall see as we wait and see what happens.
Angels open the season in Seattle. That'll be on Monday, April the 6th. And that's just a 3-game series in Seattle. And then the Angels are back to Southern California for the home opener. That'll be later that week on Friday, April the 10th, against the defending American League champion Kansas City Royals. Counts 1 ball, 2 strikes on Featherston. And there's a swing and a miss, and Mulligan comes in, and the emergency roll strikes out a pair here. The inning is over. Bottom of the 8th is next. It's 11-2 Angels on Fox Sports West. Angels make a couple of changes as we head to the bottom of the 8th. The new pitcher is lefty Adam Wilk, and he has impressed folks in the Angels camp so far. He's had 5 scoreless outings out of the bullpen, 5 1/3 innings overall, walking just 1, striking out 6. And the new first baseman for the Angels is Grant Green, as he gives Crone the rest of the night off.
And the Angels continue to play Grant Green pretty much everywhere.
Wilk taking over for Bedrosian, who retired 3 of 4 last inning. Had a scoreless inning, gave up a hit, and struck out a batter. Jerry Sands, the first batter to face the left-hander Adam Wilk. Southern California native who went to Long Beach State delivers, and the first pitch, the lefty gets that one in there for a called strike.
Happy to be in a place in one of the Angels uniform. Team that he said he saw a lot growing up Southern California.
There's another pitch that's in there for a strike, so he's not messing around here on Sands. Count goes to 0-2. Two-strike pitch, a little bit high with that one. Wilk was in the Pirates organization last year. He's kind of moved around recent seasons. The next pitch, there's a good off-speed pitch. He fooled Sands and struck him out swinging.
He is not messing around. He is throwing the ball this well, pretty much as we saw here against Sands all spring. Turned the ball over. Not going to overpower you, but he is sneaky. Even talking to some of the Angels hitters that faced him in live batting practice, they said the ball gets on you. Smooth delivery, and then all of a sudden, right on you into that whip. Pretty good breaking ball, too.
Rollinger at the plate, and the first pitch, he takes that one. He played AAA last year, Indian system with Columbus, and the pitch, and that is inside.
Grant Green now at first base, hit for the DH Pujols, so now he enters the game, which means the Angels no longer have a DH, and the pitcher gets to pitcher's spot, I should say, gets to hit in number 6 spot.
There's a pitch that misses. 2 balls and 1 strike.
See that happen occasionally in the regular season too.
Next delivery, it's lifted in the air, foul down the right side. That's going to get back and out of play.
It's been a busy night for many Angels with the bats, but also for Johnny Giovatella at second base. The Angels going to take a lot of looks at the reps. Johnny Giovatella, his actions, his coverage, range, everything. And he's out there doing it all. And you're out of options, you know the look will be even longer. And he's had a good night tonight.
Yeah, Gio has scored 3 runs for the Angels tonight. Couple of hits.
Double and triple.
There's a bouncer foul over on the left side. So full count here on Rollinger. Michael Martinez, who has gone all the way at second base, is waiting on deck. Again, the 3-2 delivery, and that's a little bit low and inside. 1-out walk.
They missed by a whole lot. Now it's time to get back to work. I'm trying to find that ground ball. Let's see how close this was. Well, actually cut across the plate. It's more a matter of where the ball was caught. It did look like a strike.
Here's Martinez, 2-hit night for him. Switch hitter, he bats right, swings at that one, fouls it off on the right side, back and out of play. The Angels are finished as far as playing games here at this ballpark this spring, but they will play the Indians one more time, and that will be next Wednesday. That'll be at Tempe Diablo Stadium. Pitch on its way in there for a strike.
Drew Butera drew a lot of compliments from umpires last year, especially in the National League, on how he frames, and now there's a way of tracking how many pitches you actually convert into strikes for your pitchers.
Yeah, they have stats on just about everything now.
As to how you frame. And Chris Iannetta admittedly says he's been paying attention to that because he was rated as one of the worst framers.
Yeah, Hank Conger was rated a lot higher than Iannetta last year in that department, framing pitches. Here's the next one, the 1-2. That's low, and that skips past Butera and goes back to the backstop. So moving up to second will be Rollinger.
On that subject, too, one of the top framers in baseball is Buster Posey. Here's a ball that gets under Butera, the ball that saw him come up, and something Mike Scioscia does not want to see. You're better off having that ball bounce over your shoulders because you stayed low than that ball going under your glove, and we've seen that twice now with both Iannetta and Butera here tonight.
It will go down as a wild pitch. And here's the next delivery. Liner just out of the reach of Kubica, and that one's going to roll down in the left field corner. A run will score. Martinez is going to make a big turn at second, and he will stop there with a 1-out RBI double, his third hit of the night. So it's now 11-3 Angels.
He's had a good night, vying for a spot of the Indians bench. Veteran player, versatile. Just out of the reach of a tall guy, and that ball might have some slider effect over Kubica. It was not the height that beat him. It was the effect and maybe perhaps the timing of it, seeing that ball slicing away.
So that's the first run that Wilk has given up this spring. And now Holt will be the batter. He's been up once with a flyout tonight. Here's the pitch on him, and that one popped out of the mitt of Butera. And counts 1 ball, no strikes.
And that's the first run allowed by Wilk here this spring. And it comes because of a walk and then the double.
Here's the next pitch. This one is grounded to short. 1 play first in time. And moving over to third base on that one will be Martinez. That's the second out here in the bottom of the 8th. Featherston fielding that. He's playing shortstop. Lindor, who's gone all the way for the Indians. They kept their middle infielders together tonight, Lindor and Martinez. This will be Lindor's 5th at bat this evening. He's 0 for 3 with an RBI. Wilk delivers. That's lined by the mound and right up the middle for an RBI hit. Martinez will score.
The combination gets it done. Lindor, Martinez.
It's 11-4 Angels.
It was right through the box. Wilk after the walk, the double. And now the number 2 hitter gets a good pitch right down the middle. Wastes no time. And for Lindor, it's got to be a good feeling there, as he had been 0 for 3 with a sac fly.
Cleveland getting their first run since the bottom of the 4th. Red Hayes stepping up. He's had a single his only time up since entering the game, and he takes that one low. Here's the lefty's next delivery, and that is a swing and a miss. That one had Hayes walking almost out of the batter's circle after he chased that pitch. So it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Very pleasant night tonight for baseball here in Goodyear. Weather seems to be clearing up in the valley right now. Here's the next delivery. That's lined down the left side and just foul. A couple feet foul down the field line.
A lot of hot weather here before the Angels had the off day on Wednesday, but since then, Terry's been a nice cooling trend with the rain. Some storms around, as we saw earlier. Some thunderstorms just a few hundred miles from here.
So 2 strikes on Hayes. Wilk's pitch, another ground ball hit to Featherston, and he will throw it to first, and that's how the inning will end. 6-3 ground out. They do get a couple runs in the inning on a couple of hits, but it's 11-4 Angels as we go to the ninth on Fox Sports West. For the Cleveland Indians, we head to the ninth inning. Angels on top by a score of 11-4, and the new pitcher's name is Chang Lee, CC Lee, if you will, native of Taiwan, and he was in 37 games last year for the Indians. 4.50 ERA. So CC Lee will take over.
Pretty animated character out there on the mound. Hoping that the offseason, they want him to polish a few things. And among them, the fact that he doesn't have to throw the ball through a brick wall every single time.
He's had a good spring for them so far. He's worked 4 scoreless innings, and here's the pitch. That one a little bit low. Johnny Giovitello's got all the way. Had a nice night for the Angels. The batter, he's been on base 3 of the 4 times up. Scored 3 runs, has 2 hits, reached on an error. Next pitch, little poke into right field, but coming in and making the grab is Sands. Ball held up for the right fielder. Quick out, 1 gone here in the ninth. Drew Butera will be the next batter. 8th pitcher of the night for the Indians, Chang Lee.
One Indian that we're not going to see in uniform this year, and perhaps not again in the big leagues, is Jason Giambi.
Yeah.
Who was announced that this is it. Last couple of seasons, Terry Francona has had him more of a coaching role and advisor to young players than anything else.
There's a little pop into shallow right field. Diving is Martinez, the second baseman, to nab it.
Nabonite.
That was a nice play right there.
He has been everywhere. With the bat, fielding ground balls, showing tremendous range, going back, extending. Standing play all the way around.
He was about 20 feet or more out there in the outfield, diving to make that catch. So Rob, there was Butera. That's the second out. Batter now is Efren Navarro, who's had to hit his only time up. Drove in a run. That was back in the 7th. We're in the 9th. The Angels up 11-4. Lee's pitch, high and away. It misses for a ball. See what the Angels end up doing pitching wise when we get to the bottom of the 9th inning. We saw Wilk last inning. Lee's pitch outside.
Well, if the bullpen tells you anything, there's nobody warming up. It looks like Adam Wilk will have another chance to go out there.
And he was a guy who was a starting pitcher last year.
So there you have it.
Yeah. So he's been looked at as a reliever for the Angels, and if he ends up making the club, he clearly will be in that role. But he's a guy who is used to pitching multiple innings. 3-0. And that is a called strike on the outside corner.
It's very interesting how Mike Scioscia and Mike Butcher group things up. When you see the same day you see Salas, you see Moore, and you see Joe Smith. And then the same day you see Snodgrass, you see Wilk. You see Bedrosian. What does that tell you? Yes, Mike Scioscia is big into grouping, and that's also another pattern right there. On guys that he wants to see on particular days. Why not throw them all out there and make it simple to evaluate?
Here's the next one on Navarro. He checks on a pitch right there on that 3-2. They say he held up, so it's ball 4. 2-out walk. And Kubica, who's had a hit his only time up, will be the next batter. Well, we talked about it earlier about some of these relievers that the Angels have used and brought here tonight. None of them any sure shot to make the opening day roster, but several of them maybe guys are kind of fighting for the final bullpen spot. So you kind of like seeing them against the same team and see what they how they fare on the same night or same day.
Sure, Mike Scioscia likes that stuff. You see Vince Pestano when Matt Lindstrom throws. I mean, all these things go together. There's a design to the whole thing.
The pitch a little bit low on Kubica, 1-1. Lee's delivery, and that one is outside. Mentioned CC Lee from Taiwan, and of course Taiwan has had so many years in that Little League World Series where they've been so successful.
Yes,
and you would think there would be more Taiwanese players in Major League Baseball. Here's the pitch. That's in there for a called strike. I mean, we're seeing a lot more Japanese players in the big leagues now. Some Koreans.
Seeing some solid Korean players.
Right. But Taiwan, which has been so good when those players are younger, you kind of wonder what happens to them.
Well, I wonder about what happens after those ages. Is there the same emphasis put on developing players, exposing them to competition?
Right.
Do players want to pursue baseball? You got to wonder too.
Maybe they maybe they're burnt out,
or the fact that they just want to play at home. There's nothing wrong with that either.
Yeah. Here's a pitch that swung on and missed, and Kubica is out on strikes, and the inning is over. So here for the Angels, a quiet inning against CC Lee. We're headed to the bottom of the ninth. It's been all Angels tonight, up 11-4. Go. Angels up 11-4 here against the Cleveland Indians. And Adam Wilk will continue. As we speculated, this will be his second inning tonight. Santiago 4 1/3. Loconsul 2/3 of an inning. Snodgrass an inning. Bedrosian an inning. And Wilk trying to get the final 3 outs. Here's the pitch. That one a little bit outside. Jesus Aguilar is the batter. He's 0 for 1 since coming in, and the next delivery, that one is bounced off the plate, but it rolls foul on the third base side. Jose is headed downstairs. He'll join Mark Ubisoff for Angels Live right after the action. Don't forget, we'll be back with you tomorrow. Angels and the San Francisco Giants from Tempe, a day game tomorrow. Pitch on its way. There's a swing and a miss. That game will be on Prime Ticket tomorrow and also on Angels Radio AM 830. So hope to have you tuned in some fashion tomorrow. Here's the pitch. Fouled off on the right side, backing out of play. The 11 runs the Angels have scored ties a spring training high, and the Angels have been good offensively here lately. 7 yesterday, 11 in the ball game against the Rockies a couple days ago. Here's a ball. It's well hit into right center. It's going to go over the head of Robertson, and easily getting into second base with a leadoff double is Aguilar. So they have a runner at second. Hood will be the next batter. Anthony Gallus is waiting to pinch hit after Hood's at bat. He's getting ready to step up. Rayburn is scheduled to bat next, but we do not see him. Wilkson's coming in, has allowed 3 hits in 1 full inning of work. Nobody out here in the 9th. The delivery is in there for a called strike on the outside corner. Next pitch will be the 30th for Adam Wilk. Keep in mind he worked last inning as well. Here's the delivery, and that is a strike on the outside corner. Angels bats were hot the big inning tonight. Well, the one that was the most exciting for sure was that Angels 3rd inning when the Angels had 4 triples. Angels scored 3 in that inning and scored 4 runs in the second. There's a pitch that is taken low. 1-2 the count. Angels had built a 7-0 lead after 2.5 innings tonight and have been able to maintain a big lead all night long. Here's the pitch. Chopped on the left side. Kibitza, the third baseman, throws to first in plenty of time, and the runner is holding at second, Aguilar. So that's the first out here in the bottom of the 9th. 2 more outs to go. Anthony Gallus batting for Ryan Rayburn. Rayburn, who was the DH for the Indians tonight, leaves going 0 for 3. And Gallus, who gets ready to step up to the plate. He's batting for the first time this spring, so this has to be a thrill for him, a young player. Here's the pitch. He lines one into right center field. That ball's hit hard, and it's going to bounce on out to the wall. A run will score as Aguilar comes in. Gallus with a double into right center. He hit that ball close to where Aguilar hit his. No chance for Daniel Robertson to run that one down as Aguilar hit it in the gap the opposite way. Robertson did everything he could, played it off the wall, fired it back to the infield, but not before Gallus was easily at second base with the RBI double. So now it's 11-5 Angels with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th. That is the 3rd run Wilk has allowed. So his outing tonight not nearly as good as the ones before. And the pitch That one a little bit low and inside. Jerry Sands, third at bat since coming in. Angels infield is backed up as Wilk is ready to deliver, and the pitch that is low. The Angels bullpen is quiet. The Angels do have a few other relievers they've brought tonight. Edward Santos is here. Kurt Spommer is here. Zach Stewart also here, but Mike Scioscia keeping the bullpen quiet. Of course, the lead is still a big one, a 6-run advantage. And the pitch that's low and away, and now Wilk, who's struggling, has fallen behind 3-0. Gallus, who just drove in the run, that runner at second base, he's a young player born in Cleveland, and I mentioned that was his first at bat for the Indians this spring. He went to Kent State. Here's the pitch on the outside part of the plate, called strike. We've had a lot of extra base hits in this ball game for both sides. Only one home run with all the runs that have been scored in this game. Here's the pitch, and that's outside, and that is a 5-pitch walk. So runners at first and second. The Indians have had 6 doubles tonight. Of course, the Angels had the 4 triples in one inning. The Angels have also had, it's like, 3 doubles tonight. Also the home run by Iannetta. And now the Angels will begin to get some action in the bullpen. Zach Stewart is the pitcher warming up. Here's the pitch, and that one is a little bit low. Rollinger is the batter. He's had a walk since coming into the ball game. This will be Wilk's 40th pitch, and this one is tapped down to third. Could be 2. Second base 1, relay to first. It is in time. A double play will end this ball game. Good job, Kubica, Giabatella, and Grant Green, the first baseman, and it ends on a 5-4-3 inning-ending double play. So the Angels bang out 17 hits tonight. Had the 4 triple inning here this evening in the third, and the Angels come away with the victory here this evening as they post the 11-5 win here in Goodyear. Mark Ubisaw, Jose Mota coming up next on Angels Live.